Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Nice. Oh, it started on its...
The Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. Say the market's tight gripping, hold fast. Charts be flipping and dipping. Mainstream more than middle. Traditionalists be tripping. Live stream crypto, he's sniping for help. Very risky, they shout, but he's playing the wealth. But this is his art. This is his game. He hits the go live and the coins they inflate. Check it. OG Vault in effect. Bringing the heat, what you expect. He's the master of memes, king of the stream. With every go live, he's building the dream. Built on the east side with beats that glide and a flow so sick, you think he defied. OG be clicking, black candles be sticking, dropping them tips with the market prediction. And when he's on the mic, it's a crypto expedition, smacking down bears with sheer precision. OG off the house, violate the track, violate the track. OG off the house, violate the track, violate the track.
In the dark of the night, when the moon's hanging low, there's a place where the wildest of tales start to grow. Below the skeleton, with his phony grin, and Vault his co-host, let the stories begin. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast, we're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Vault are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. This shit's fucking great.
I think I hit a button and stopped the AI from working, and then I don't have your audio, so let me bring that back real quick. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tales from the Crypto. I just need to fix Mo's audio real quick. Oh, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Now say something.
Hola.
Yep, there we go. Now we got it. What's up, everybody? Sorry about the
Hola, ¿cómo está?
technical difficulties there. We had to get his audio fixed. We got MoKnowz in the building. We are back from Tales from the Crypto after taking a couple weeks off due to technical difficulties with my stupid computer. What's up, Mo? How you doing?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Oh,
Get it up. No.
I did the
Sorry,
wrong
my,
audio. I did
my
the Spanish
translator.
audio.
Yeah, wrong audio feed. We're back.
There we go.
Vault, what is up, dude? Couple weeks. I forgot how to speak English. What up, chat? Good to see you, man. We are back, bro. Yeah, you had some computer issues. I had PFL with the new schedule. Week 4 is going to be tight if we're going to do a show in that week. Because, like I said, all the championships are now moved into 1 week. Bang, 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 bang. So
maybe we'll do like a short show on those days.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, but hey, glad to be back. We got a lot to catch you up on.
Yes, we do. And, shout out to Dr. Strange is in the chat. Dr. Strange sent us over a couple new tracks. We're going to be making a new intro, maybe even an outro with his new Tales from the Crypto tracks that are really dope. I just got to put together some videos so that you got something to watch while you're listening to this tunes. Shout out to Dr. Strange. Appreciate you, bro. And he was the one who made the track that you heard on the Starting Soon scene. Yeah, sorry about that, Jeff. I clicked the wrong button as the intro was playing, so it got cut off a little early. My bad, my bad. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Splint? We got Big A in the chat. Let's go.
Big A in the building.
All right, we got a lot to talk about today. We don't have a lot of graphics like usual. I spent the last week resetting up this entire setup right here. But we do have some graphics for the paranormal stuff, so we're going to get into that. I'm going to try to blow Mo's mind here with my paranormal topic of the day, which is CERN. You guys probably know what CERN is. It's the Large Hadron Collider. They collide atoms together.
Yeah.
And let me show you what I got first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it, what I know about it. So what we're going to be talking about first is this lady, Dr. Stuckelberger, and she's a pretty famous doctor, Dr. Astrid Stuckelberger. I'll just read this to you. She's a scientist and expert in international health. She holds a PhD and teaches
Why
at
wouldn't you
university.
change your last name? Hold on. If you're gonna start publishing like real deal shit, wouldn't you change your name if your last name was Stuckelberger?
Stuckelberger, that's one you would remember. I think that's a memorable name. I think that's good marketing.
Yeah, I guess. All right, sorry, I didn't want to derail it, but
Shout out to
looking
the
at that
homie
name, though,
Denny
man.
OC, our biggest Tales from the Crypto fan. Good to see you here. We're back, Denny. We are back, and we got some paranormal stuff to talk about. We're going to be talking about Mrs. Stuckelberger, which Mo thinks she should change her name, but she is a holder of a PhD. She teaches at the University of Geneva and Lausanne. With over 20 years of experience, she's a leading Swiss researcher who has worked with the World Health Organization, the United Nations, and the European Union on various health programs. That's what her linked profile says. So 2 years ago, Dr. Stuckelberger had an interview with Maria Z on Z Media, and the interview was published on Rumble, where she discussed many strange things, and one of them was about CERN terrifying experiments. So I'll clip together a couple.
Real quick, Vault.
Yes.
Maybe chat knows the answer to this. If you're European, no, if you're Italian in the kitchen, what are you in the bathroom?
European.
Yeah, no, I completely fucking botched the joke. Anyway, moving along. That's a good.
I may have heard that one before. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Bitcoin BM Dubs in the chat. Let's go. What's up, BM Dub? We're gonna try to blow your mind here with this interview from Dr. Stuckelberger. Keep in mind that she is a very experienced scientist. She's a real deal. And yeah, Dr. Stuffyburger.
Dr. Stuffyburger.
Maybe she should change her name. All right, let me bring this up and let you guys listen to it, and let's see what you think about it. It's only about 3 minutes long here. Yeah, let me get rid of that. Like I said, we're not super organized with it. It's our first time back. I had to rebuild everything, so bear with us. Uh-oh, did I crash? Oh, no. Nope, I didn't crash. I didn't crash.
I think we're good.
Don't be surprised if my computer crashes. All right, here we go.
Before we sorry, if I can just pause you.
Yes,
you just said something which made my ears prick up. They are part of CERN.
I thought that was AOC for a minute.
Yes, because actually CERN is dealing with radionuclear research.
Right.
It's nuclear research, but it is more than that, because there are lots of physicians. I know some. They're doing very strange experimentation. There are beings from portals coming in and out. It's physicists from the CERN who told me this.
They've testified to beings coming in and out of portals.
Yes. And they were saying, I mean, I met them at a dinner, and there were two of them, and both said that, yes, they have, secondhand proof that the people who they're dealing with the boson of Higgs and the subatomic things. So they have apparently in the bottom of the CERN this portal, this door where they are dealing with all the subatomic dimensions. They say there are 17 different dimensions of reality. That's what those physicists say. Some others say there are more dimensions. We know the time, space, the tridimensional X, Y, Z in a graphic. But then you have more dimensions, and they are playing with that. They're using that, and we're a group, and they had a being. They did not tell me more, who came that doesn't resemble a human. And then they had another one, and they have a proof because they left a scarf. They left a scarf. And now, when you look at what is going on in the CERN, there is a fight from some of the military agencies. Intel, they say that there is a fight on time. They're trying to change time. I'm just saying that because as a scientist, you cannot not say something so important. Because if you can deal with the smallest energies on Earth, you can imagine that you can go through other realms of dimensions. They say, yeah. So I will stop there. But CERN is very important, and it's in Geneva.
This lady
and they
thinks
have
some
a
fucking
tunnel
dimensions,
for
man. Let
their
me tell you.
experiment that is going down to Milano, to Genova, under the lake,
Boom. So there y'all have it. That was a little portion of the interview of this scientist talking about CERN and how they have created some type of portal underneath CERN, and that there are actual beings coming out of the portal. Now, there was this post in 2016, I believe, that popped up on Reddit from a person who claims to have worked at CERN. It was 2019, actually. And he said that there was a small error in the LHC's startup code that led to an unusual yellow light filling the facility. The team noticed a dark, otherworldly orb that quickly vanished. Subsequent experiments with similar orbs led to dangerous results. A metal pin tested in one of the voids showed extremely high radiation, killing 10 researchers. Interesting. Drones sent into the void lost connection instantly. In a recent test, instead of the expected light, a large black figure emerged from the void and communicated telepathically. It threatened to destroy humanity for invading their world. The incident happened a week ago. Like I said, that was in 2019. And he went on to say that a black figure started to emerge from the large void. Although very humanoid, this thing was anything but human. It was featureless, it gave off strong vibrations, and was so massive it had to duck to exit the void. Many researchers broke down at the sight of this thing, and then it spoke. We all heard it clear as day in our heads. We all heard the blistering static sound as words began to play inside our minds. And he said, "You creatures have no place peering into our world. Your destruction was set in stone the moment you opened up the doorway into our dimension. We will exterminate your kind as your knowledge of our existence threatens us. This is not a warning, but a promise." So there was actually a couple other things that I thought about making graphics out of where...
Wait. So we're finally making contact with other beings and they speak proper English? Because I find that very hard to believe. Like, if they came out and they were like...
Well, they were
weird shit.
communicating telepathically, though. Does that make a difference? It's not like they were doing that in a particular language. If you're communicating telepathically, don't you pick it up in whatever language you understand?
I'm not too fluent in telepathy. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Bitcoin BMW says they had a CERN in Texas near Waxahachie. I don't know if I believe that right there. Denny OC says we be booming thing. I don't think we should be booming in that thing. That's it. That wraps it up right there. That sums it up nicely. Why does the interviewer look so mad? She's got resting bitch face. You can tell.
She was being held hostage. When she's like, I do not. She's like, what did I do wrong in my life to have to listen to this freaking lady right now?
Yeah, she did not look very happy. Shout out to Smart Buys in the chat. We got Woody in the chat. My man Alejandro's here. We got Abdullah Arif. What's up, everybody? We're talking about CERN. And the first thing that I remember about CERN, whenever they were actually creating CERN, is something that they said was a legit possibility, although super, super small possibility, is like we might accidentally make a wormhole or a black... was it a black hole? We might
accidentally... black hole. That was the main concern. But yeah.
Yeah, they said we could possibly make a black hole, and if we do, it'll destroy the entire world, and probably the galaxy too. So, like, why are we taking that chance? I mean, that just like somebody said earlier. I don't have a scroll bar anymore, but it's like somebody said earlier. It scares the crap out of me. CERN scares the crap out of me. But what do you think about the story that Dr. Stuffaburger is saying? Do you believe that they actually created a portal in CERN and that creatures are coming out of it?
No, not even close. I don't know what I could say to discredit her, but man, she just seems off to me. Doctor of what? I don't know, but I don't know. From everything I know about CERN, and I've, again, I told you, I was like, why does all this shit sound familiar? It's because a lot of it's talked about on Big Bang Theory, one of my favorite shows. But I've also watched things on it with my girl in the past, and like, I don't know, man. Everything they do is like small scale. But I know early on, they were like, if you open a small black hole, who's to say it just doesn't, keep going and going and going and sucking the entire Earth, right? Like that was a big concern. You can say, oh, I'm just making a small black hole and we're trying to, work with subatomic particles. And I mean, I think it's all really intriguing. But yeah, it's a little scary, I think by now, I think it's pretty safe. But they, the new stuff coming, right? Because I think they're shutting it down. They're like revamping a lot of it. I think 2025. And that stuff could be a little scary because, again, untested new waters. I mean, who the hell knows what's going to happen, Yeah,
and like Denny OC said, they're building a bigger one.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one coming in 2025.
Smart Buy's on the same wavelength as you. He says they knew English, but keep in mind it's telepathic. I think that works differently. Of course, I've never spoken to somebody telepathically, so I don't know exactly all the ins and outs of it. Sorry about that. Danielle C says the interviewer did not look real. I mean, it was pretty fuzzy. Dr. Strange says if they are smart enough to travel interstellar, I'm sure you have technology to translate languages. Exactly. I don't think they are new here. See, Dr. Strange knows what's up. What's up, Dan K in the building? Let's go. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're talking about CERN. Smartbot says extra beings know too much. Can we ask them how VeVe's going to do in the future? You trying to
Could you imagine? Aliens travel all this fucking way. We pull them into some weird ass homemade portal. And we're just like, hey, by the way, will the Jets ever win the Super Bowl? And what will my VeVe ball be worth 2 years from now?
I'm sure they'd have answers. They probably know what you're talking about. They're like all knowing.
They would smack the shit out of you. Kidding me?
You're probably right.
Telepathically.
Dan K says, have you guys heard of loosh harvesting creatures that's deep down the rabbit hole? No. Loosh harvesting creatures. I've never heard of that. Sounds like something I should know about. Danielle C says, to MoKnowz, did Bob Newhart not die during the filming of Big Bang? Yeah, Denny was talking about this during my live stream this weekend. Bob Newhart, I guess, played a character on Big
Dr.
Bang
Proton,
Theory.
or Professor Proton.
Yeah, Professor Proton.
Yeah.
And didn't he pass away during Big Bang and they had to like replace him or something?
Well, they actually replaced him? I read it was like an episode where Sheldon took over. Actually, I don't know.
Because apparently Bob Newhart just died like this week. So Denny OC is saying that this is some type of Mandela effect. Because I thought I remembered Bob Newhart passing away during Big Bang Theory 2.
Wait, no, I'm thinking of the... No, wait. Who was the guy that was on News Radio? That was not Bob Newhart. I think it was somebody else.
Joe Rogan?
No, Joe Rogan was on there too. But who was the guy that was killed by his wife?
Oh, yeah, that's
Phil Hartman. I think of Phil Hartman. Why the hell?
Yeah, Phil Hartman.
Why the hell?
Yeah, I like
was
Phil
confusing
Hartman.
those two.
He was hilarious.
Yeah, he was funny as hell, man.
Bitcoin BMW says, have y'all
Bob Newhart.
seen the ceremonies they had at CERN? No. What kind of ceremonies are they having? Are they doing like some dark ritual stuff? Because if so, that would kind
That
of
would make sense.
Yeah.
That would, yeah, now that interview makes sense.
Dan K says, loosh creatures feed off of fear. This sounds like something I need to investigate. This sounds interesting. Daniel C says, I swear he passed years ago, but apparently he passed away this week, so it might be another Mandela effect. And when I was reading that Vice article I was going to bring up a second ago about CERN, they were saying that the question they were asking, I wish I would have put it on here now because it came up in the chat, but they were asking, is CERN causing interdimensional beings to come in here and cause these Mandela effects to happen to us? So they're kind of relating the Mandela effects as a result of what the experiments that they're doing at CERN.
Yeah, but wasn't the Mandela effect a thing since like the 70s or the 60s?
No,
and then
it's new.
New?
It's not
Is
new,
CERN...
but it's kind of new, right?
Or do people just correlate things to back in the past? Like, oh, that was just a Mandela effect.
Yeah, I think that's how it works because, yeah, it's the Mandela effect, and Mandela didn't get out of jail until like the 90s, so the Mandela effect couldn't become a thing until the 90s.
Well, there
Dr.
you go.
Strange says to Google Inky and Enlil or Thoth. I know Thoth. Yeah, I know Dr. Strange knows all this crazy stuff. I can't Google while we're live because I'm afraid I'll crash my computer, but this is something I need to check out for sure. If you should, Dr. Strange, you should come up with one really good topic, DM it to me, and we'll make it the topic for next week's paranormal because I know you know a lot of paranormal stuff. Smartbot says, imagine those aliens also invested in Omi and came to Earth to ask for an update, and they all get to hear is soon. Yeah, they're gonna zap David Yu's house or something. Yes, Phil Hartman is correct, and Will Wheaton took over as Professor Proton. I remember. I like Will Wheaton after Bob died, but did he die in the show or did he die in real life? Denny LC swears that he died in real life back then.
Well, no, he died. All right, so yeah, he must have died in the show for sure, right? Because he came to Sheldon in a dream,
Right.
and he was like dressed up as like a Star Wars character or something. They were like, I remember like Sheldon's dreaming like in the woods or some weird shit. Yeah, and he was there, and I think that was after he passed away in the show. But yeah, maybe it was only in the show.
Maybe that's
I
why
don't pay attention to real life too much. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got Kryptoni in the chat coming in here with some Terrence Howard math. 1 × 1 = 2. I don't know if I believe
Oh shit!
Terrence
Let's
Howard.
go.
Did you ever end up watching Terrence Howard on Joe Rogan?
Oh yeah, I watched that. I watched all the rebuttal stuff. I watched the rebuttals on the rebuttals. I saw the other guy come back on Joe Rogan.
Yep. Weinstein.
Weinstein, yeah. I mean, listen, man. Like, so here's the thing, right? And I think this is what Neil deGrasse and some of these other guys were talking about. Whereas, he's not wrong to question some of these things, and maybe some of these he actually hits on. When it comes to like, everything being curved, not linear, and the hexagon and everything that he made, right? Like,
Yep.
and like it's cool and it makes sense, but sometimes things just line up and make sense. And it's like, what it was Neil deGrasse or Weinstein was like. He's like, yeah, I'd love to just put this art in my house. He just kept on saying it like over and over again.
Yeah.
But I felt like it's cool stuff, and maybe it does make sense if you put some science behind it.
Mm.
But they're also right when they're like, hey, dude, who the fuck are you to get up here and start really just calling people out? Like, have a discussion, maybe, but to really start calling people out, maybe he didn't think it through too much.
Yeah, when somebody starts
great conversation though. Great conversation.
He starts saying that he's smarter than Einstein. That's when I start to get very skeptical.
Oh well, yeah. When he starts comparing themselves, and this guy did that. He brought up Tesla a lot too. But hey, listen, right? We talked about this. There's some truth to that, though, man. Like it's just kind of weird that a guy like Tesla was doing what he did, and then, money talks, bullshit walks. Edison comes in and hush money, and they were like, oh, we can't really hush this guy up. And next thing you know, like, he's dead, everything's gone. They fucking go to the institute, they fucking rip everything up. Like, it's kind of crazy, man. It definitely doesn't look like a normal series of events to me personally.
Yeah, there's something strange there. Bilbo Swaggin says we need another classic Vault bitch slap Twitter roast. What is this?
Yes,
I don't remember the first.
Tony, thank you.
When was the Vault bitch slap Twitter roast? Was I the one that got bitch slapped, or was I doing the bitch slapping? I'm not exactly sure what that is. All right, Dr. Strange says, cool, he may be able to hop on as well. Yeah, he will teach us a thing or two. I don't know if I can add you to the stream right now. I need to reset my computer, but I might be able to figure it out. Danielle sees he's running off to football. And Kryptoni says flower of life. That is another one of the things that Terrence Howard talks about that he's kind of right about. I mean, even my boy Rob Dyrdek used to always talk about the flower of life. And I think it was Leonardo da Vinci used to talk about the flower of life. So there's something to that flower of life thing. But I don't exactly know what it is. It's interesting, though. Shout out to the biggest bros in the chat. What's up, big bro? Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, but I think again, it's like a lot of these guys were telling Terrence Howard. It's like, just because you could pull some correlation in that, just doesn't mean that 1 times 1 equals 3 and all the crazy shit he was saying. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
1 times 1 equals 2. Like, I don't know. He's like, oh, well, you have the 1 and then a singular with a singular and then blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but I mean, this is again like PEMDAS, right? Like basic math operational type bullshit. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't agree with all science and everything, but I mean, I feel like that part works. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's good to question science. That's how you figure out things, just not by believing everything you hear and doing some questioning, and then doing your own experiments, your own research, and sometimes that can lead to new discoveries, big discoveries. Smart.
Yeah, you have to let go eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like if people that are in that field are able to come in and disprove you quickly, by the way,
right.
Like you might have to say, all right, maybe my theory isn't as strong as I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know me, bro. I come up with crazy ideas and fucking hypotheses all the time. But if someone can show me, information or data that proves me otherwise, I've changed my stance on things many, many times. I'm not a flip-flopper, but if someone can show me something that makes sense, you can't just dig in on conviction, like die on a hill just because. And I feel like it's almost what he started doing. But now, look, what was that? A month ago, a month and a half ago now, 2 months?
Yeah, a couple months.
Now nobody gives a shit. It's a flash in the pan like anything else, Got people talking a little bit.
But I agree.
Like, oh, yeah, all right.
He got very defensive about it, and sometimes that can be a red flag. Like, you got to be open to, you're talking to an actual scientist here, and he's proving things to you that may prove your theory wrong, and you got to be like, all right, maybe I was wrong about that, but I'm still right about this. Smartbot says, what's your guys' theory on wireless electricity? They have this tech, just don't release due to greed. Imagine all wires gone from the cities. I mean, that's kind of...
Yeah, but that's what Tesla did.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, he did it. And that's what I'm saying, right? So, but that put a massive threat to Edison and everything that they were trying to do. And then you had the whole AC/DC battle back then, right?
Yep.
And, it was being done. Like, he was planting these things in the ground using the intonation of the earth. and transmitting the power. It was being fucking done. You know, the fact that we don't do it now, kind of, and then that's what I'm saying before. Like, it just doesn't add up to a certain degree. You know,
Well,
not
it's
to
about
say
the people
you know
that
we question everything, but
when rich people are making money and you're trying to threaten, the
exactly.
money coming in, then they're going to stop
Yep.
it from happening. That's why
Money is power.
everybody's still making oil-fueled vehicles at this point. Even though we shouldn't be making oil-fueled vehicles anymore, we should be switching to renewable energies. But who controls what we do? The rich people, and the rich people own the oil. So yeah, that kind of stops progress. Kryptoni says,
I agree.
What if the light at the end of the tunnel when you die is the hospital lights from your next birth? I've heard that before. That's reincarnation. And Kryptoni, if you were watching this one episode that we did, I can't remember what the exact topic was. I think it was ghosts. We were talking about this lady who almost died. They thought she was dead when she was a kid. And when she came back to life, whenever they revived her, she believed that she used to be this Egyptian woman who lived in Egypt, and she had all this knowledge about Egypt that there's no way that this 5-year-old girl could have. And she ended up eventually moving to Egypt and ended up becoming an Egyptologist and ended up making discoveries just from her memory of things in this certain place where she says she lived. So I mean, there's a lot of stories like that. So I believe there's something to reincarnation.
That's insane, actually. And I might have told you this, and anyone that's hung out in my stream has heard it. The amount of coding problems or gaming, design problems, or even just life problems that I had. If your brain just does it over and over again, and I go to sleep, I'll actually figure it out in my sleep because I'm saying my brain is still doing it, and I'll wake up and be like, "Oh shit, I did that in my dream. Let me give that a shot." And when it works, I'm like, "Holy fuck, man!" Like that's crazy,
That is crazy. That's
your
like
brain
osmosis.
Yeah, because I mean, I did a sleep study a long time ago. And they were like, your brain activity when you're supposed to be in REM sleep is insanely high. Like my brain just doesn't shut down. And that's why I actually use the Tesla sleep method of 4 hours here and there. That's pretty much what I do.
That's what John Gruden, he's an NFL coach. He does the same thing. He sleeps about 4 hours at a time.
Yep.
And it
just helps me feel fresh. It just keeps me better. I don't know.
And I always have these thoughts that the dreams that you have are like things that your other self is doing in a different dimension, like things that are actually happening. Because why are you dreaming and you still see this same house that you've never been in before? Like I have a dream where I'm in this same house that I've dreamed about 20-30 times, but it's not a house that I've ever seen. But maybe in this other dimension, the other me lives in that house or something. I don't know. There's something strange going on with dreams. I need to look into it more. I know a lot of people do research on dreams, so there's probably more information.
Oh, yeah.
It's a rabbit hole you can go down. Shout out to Jay Hirsch here. What's up, Jay? We'll get into politics soon. You should enjoy that. We got Greedy one here. What's up, Greedy? Kryptoni says, have y'all seen that preacher they say is demonic? It's going viral. I don't think I've seen that. No. Link me on that one on Twitter. I want to check it out. Jeff says, if 1 × 1 = 3, does that mean my bank account should be more than it is? That's what it means if it was true. However, you can't prove it. That's the problem. What's up, Roger Collects in the building? What's up, my man? We're talking a little bit about CERN and a little bit about whatever anybody else in the chat wants to talk about on the paranormal topic today. Kryptoni has even written songs in his sleep before. Yeah, exactly like Mo was talking about.
I've done that before. Yeah, I've done that. Done music. I've had a hook or something in the chorus where I'm like, man, I just need that extra little flair on it, And in my sleep, I'll still be in my studio seat, doing my music, and I'm like, oh shit, I had a cool little lead or something or a little lick, and I'll throw it in.
Yep.
Yeah, it's.
Smartbass says maybe we're just software made of zeros and ones. I mean, we probably are in a simulation. I mean, that's what the scientists say. What some scientists say.
Pull the fucking plug, please. Oh man.
I don't know, but if we are able to create a simulation of reality at some point in our future, then there will be an infinite amount of simulations. And if there's an infinite amount of simulations and only one real life, what makes you think that you're in the real life and not in one of the simulations? That's kind of how they break it down. But I don't think I'm in a simulation. I hope not. I guess it don't matter. I mean, maybe this is just a video game that we're playing. I mean, and I said something about this on Twitter the other day. I mean, the whole point of video games and gaming is to make it as immersive and realistic as possible. So maybe 200, 500 years from now, they've created a game that's so good that you don't know that you're in the game. So you start the game and they make it so you don't know that you're in a game. And then you play the game not knowing that you're in a game. That's like ultra immersive. And maybe that's what we're doing right now. If so, I mean, the people that are rich are winning and the people that are poor are losing, I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Mo? Are we in a game?
That would be sick. I just feel bad for the person that's controlling me. They're like, I just want this dude to do something, and he sits around and smokes weed all day, looking at virtual horses. What the? My fucking controller's broken, Ma. Jesus.
Fix it, Ma.
No, Ma, where's the meatloaf?
Jeff says, I barely dream. I guess I'm done. No, actually, you dream every time. Anytime you enter REM sleep, you always dream. It's just whether you remember the dream or not. But that's something I learned in psychology in college. You always dream, but you don't always remember the dream. Now, if you smoke a lot of weed, you never remember your dream. And then when you stop smoking weed, you have really, really vivid dreams that you remember. So, but you do dream every time you enter REM sleep. Woody says, I never remembered my dreams anymore. Must have died in the... Are y'all smoking weed? Because that's what makes you forget your dreams. Maybe y'all are just a bunch of potheads. I don't know.
I think most people are these days. It's illegal in most places.
Not here, damn it. Denny OC says I can't.
Trust me, I know.
Is it legal in New York?
Yeah, we legalized it, last year?
Nice.
2 years ago?
Denny says, I can't sleep for more than 4 hours at a time unless influenced by foreign substances. Can't sleep more than 4 hours at a time. I would not be able to get through the day. Anytime I only get like 6 or less hours of sleep, which is a lot recently because I get up early, I'm dragging the rest of the day. Abdullah says,
Bro, speaking of foreign substances, did I talk to you about this yet?
What's that?
I feel like it's been so long. At the vape shop where I get my juice, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have a mushroom vape pen now.
So, like actual shrooms?
Yeah, now, I love mushrooms. I haven't done them in a long time. I love them. But I ain't trusting that shit. I barely trust the nicotine stuff, you know what I mean? And the weed stuff, but like, I'm not doing psychedelics that's in no way, like... But man, I know some people that have done it, like, oh, this shit works so good. I'm like, yeah, I'm staying far away from that, but that's something new that I came across.
Yeah, it's something I did in college, something that was fun in college, but I feel like I'm too old to do any type of psychedelics at this point. Yeah, Abdullah's right, Jumanji level. Maybe this is a Jumanji type game. We're stuck in there. We can't get out. Kurtoli says, when you say something in your head, how do you hear it? Your lips don't move. You're talking to your spirit self, the one that doesn't require the body, the one that lives on in another dimension. And there are some people who actually don't have an inner monologue, like they can't talk to themselves without talking out loud. So I don't know exactly how that works. But there is...
I don't know why my inner monologue has always been Asian. I don't know why. It always
Asian?
sounds like Mr. Miyagi.
It's Mr. Miyagi. Well, that's probably a good one. Mr. Miyagi has an inner monologue.
Yeah, it's like I just can't shake it. And it's even before I saw The Karate Kid. Even when I was like really, really young, I don't know.
Just wax on, wax off, huh?
Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Happy birthday, dear Daniel-san. Anyway, moving along before we get canceled.
Gritty one says,
yeah, I don't know. It's like a wise inner monologue, you know.
As long as it's wise, that's always good. Gritty says that would be crazy though to die at 80 and wake up as the 14-year-old you were just playing Sims 20. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Maybe when you die, that's the end of the game. It says game over, then you snap back to reality 500 years from now, like you're back into the future, but this is all a game. I don't know. Jeff says the only dreams I remember are the sexy ones or the ones where I got effed up. Ugh. I know I remember a lot of dreams I've had where I'm falling and right before I hit the ground I wake up. Those are kind of the worst. Bitcoin.
Yeah, people always tell me about the falling dreams. I don't think I've ever had those. My recurring dream is always I'm swinging on a rope, right? And there's wolves underneath me. So maybe if we're talking about previous, maybe I was like a Tarzan type motherfucker, but I'm just swinging on a rope back and forth, and there's just wolves trying to get me. That's like a recurring dream my entire life.
Yeah, I've had dreams where
might be more of a nightmare actually, but when I wake up, I'm like, oh, thank God that's over.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I've had dreams where.
But it doesn't like freak me out. Like I used to have nightmares when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you travel to a place like you've never been.
Yep.
For me, it's the opposite. I only dream or have nightmares when I was a kid, in particular, of where I've been. Like, so you remember the He-Man movie? You ever see the live-action He-Man movie?
I've seen bits and pieces. I never watched the whole thing.
So they had like these weird new made-for-the-movie characters, and one of them was called Blade. It was like the dude with the eye patch, right?
Yeah.
And this dude fucking haunted me for like my entire childhood. But like I would wake up and I'd walk out my bedroom door, and the bathroom was to the right, my dad's door was to the left, and I would try to go to the bathroom, and they would come around the corner. I just got like fucking chilled, you know, like the three of the characters would come around the corner and like push me back, and my door would be locked, and then I'd try to be banging on my dad's door trying to get in, and then like right before they get there is when I wake up every fucking time, every time. But it was like the same constant recurring dream, but it's always like in the hallway, you know what I'm saying, of like my childhood home. It was
there's
wild.
probably something to that. There's a reason why people have recurring dreams. Of course, I'm not a dream expert, but there are dream experts out there. They could probably like read into it and tell you why you keep having that dream. Bitcoin BMW says, I've seen some shrooms at the vape shop, but they are Amanita muscaria, not trippy shrooms. Ew, not trippy shrooms. I'm not trying to. I mean, I eat shrooms on my pizza sometimes, but I don't trip. So what's special about that? Cryptoys says, what if we're just characters in an Aliens video game and he just logs out one day and just shuts down the entire world? I mean, it's possible. We don't know for sure.
And his name is David Yu.
Don't say that.
Dun, dun, dun.
I keep dreaming about a woman yelling at me, and when I wake up, I find out it's my wife. Oh, that's not a dream, sir. You shouldn't be sleeping. She's telling you to quit napping, get up and take out the garbage. Tony says, my dream always consists of me trying to run or punch and not being able to, and I remember being frustrated because
never
can punch
you
hard
can't
or
run
fast.
fast, exactly. And when you punch, it feels like you're punching in like a swimming pool.
Oh, yeah?
And kick, same thing, yeah. Yeah, I forgot. There's a reason behind that. I remember read something about it. I can't think of it offhand, but it's like your muscles, because I guess they're shut down, something in like a REM sleep or something to it.
Yep.
Or the way you're laying. But yeah, it's just like you can't. Yeah, now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, you get like this crazy, almost like Matrixy like fight.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird to deal with. If I don't think that's happened to me, but I could see why that would be kind of feeling strange if it happened to you. Gritty One says, my deja vu is kind of weird when it happens. Also lucid dreaming. All right, so deja vu, what that is whenever anything happens, different things pop off in your brain, right? So let's say I do something and like these 5 different things pop off in my brain, and then I do something completely different a year later or whatever, and if those exact 5 things pop off in your brain, that's how deja vu happens. It makes you feel like it's something you've already done before, but what it is it's all these same things just coincidentally happening in your brain at the same time as it has in the past. It's something else I learned in psychology in college. Digital Verse says, I have a lot of dreams where I'm trying to run away, but my legs are slow motion and I can't move fast enough. In theory, though, I'm in bed and not running at all. Yeah, see, these are having that same issue. What's up, Digital Verse? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Jeff says, who else had a dream when you're trying to run in snow, but you go nowhere? Y'all are having the same kind of dreams. That's crazy.
Well, it's okay. So a friend of mine, Shannon, she used to be really big into like analyzing dreams and stuff like that. And yeah, there's something to like whatever's going on in your life and like the running aspect of what's going on. Again, I'm not going to really talk too much on it because I don't remember what the hell she told me. We were tripping out and we used to do a lot of K back then.
Really? That's something I never done.
Ketamine? Yeah, that was, I mean, I don't really did it because she did it and we used to hang out, but like, yeah, that shit was fun, man. Ketamine? That shit was really fun.
Is it like an upper or downer? Do you do it and then you just like slouch on the couch? And...
Yeah, it's more of a downer. It's like being drunk.
Oh, it's like being drunk. Interesting. All right, so since we're talking about dreams, let me talk about this one dream I had that always comes to mind. I always think that it was like a vision of the future, believe it or not. And I think it might have happened like right after I stopped smoking weed. And like I said, you have really vivid dreams when you stop smoking weed. But this one dream in particular, I've had tons of dreams. This one felt super, super real, like more real than any dream I've ever had. And what it was, I walked down the steps outside and I was holding something in my hand like a baby or a kid. And then there was something up in the sky and it was like an explosion, like a nuclear, I don't want to say a nuclear bomb because it like split up, but it was like we were being bombed. And when it happened, there was like an invisible UFO that all of a sudden showed and then took off, and then another different UFO that showed and then took off. And then I like woke up and went back to sleep. And when I went back to sleep, I had another like super vivid dream that I was walking down the road late at night and there was like no lights anywhere. So it was almost like it was later on that night after we had been bombed. Somehow I survived, but all the electricity was off. And as I was walking down the road, another small UFO was in the road and like lit up and then it took off. So that's the one dream I had that I always think about because it felt like it was the most realistic dream I've ever had, and I almost feel like it's a vision of the future. I hope it's not a vision of the future, but anytime they talk about like nuclear war or we're going to war with Iran or something, I'm wondering like, am I ever going to be walking around with something in my hand? Maybe it was a cat in my hand. Maybe it was somebody else's baby in my hand, and then all of a sudden we're going to get bombed. It just scares the crap out of me.
Those days are over, man. Like I said, World War III will not be fought with guns and bombs.
True. There's going to be a bunch of hackers. That'll be the soldiers.
Yep, hackers, EMPs, taking out power grids, stuff like that. It's going to be that type of war.
Is that what Matthew Perry died of? Ketamine overdose? Might be right.
Did he?
I'm not sure. I know he died of something. Some overdose or something. Shout out to Stan the Man. Stan the Man just sent over a super chat. Appreciate you, Stan. He says, will you, Mr. OG, accept the challenge of the year sponsored by Kid Arcade? VeVe Futter OG versus Moonboy Randy. MCP points up for grabs. There's no way Randy would do a stream with me. You can never talk him into it. He knows that would never happen. I accept, yes. I accept.
He'll do one with Big A. Oh, wait, no, he can't because he blocked him.
No, yeah, he blocked Big A. And then he took Big A's idea of having a Futter versus Moonboy stream. Well, I was going to get into this when we get to the crypto section.
Oh, okay, we can. All right, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean
we'll get into it.
I'm ruining the script. My bad, chat.
Kryptoni says, I remember a dream I had. I was locked up for murder, and 50 Cent was outside my cell going crazy, saying I was the realest G ever. I remember feeling trapped. Yeah, like, let me get out there and make a duo with 50 Cent, man. Kryptoni
That's
says,
how you know you're in that line, that life. Fucking making music and shit.
Kryptoni is saying that Stan is telling the truth here. I was watching Arcade just a couple days ago. Arcade is having a Moonboy / Futter debate stream. You got to be there, Vault. Mo, you should definitely be on the FUD side. No, Mo's a Moonboy. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really not that much of a Futter. I shut the FUD up if I don't really have much to say. I mean, especially nowadays.
But yeah, I'm down like 4 flat towers as long as it's not during the day because I have a job. So. Jeff says, David, you cut your electricity vault? I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like he shadow banned me from YouTube. Punch Pablo's here. What's up, Punch? How come people who reincarnate are always something great, like a prince or knight, never a pig farmer? I mean, that's a good point. Now, the lady I was talking about earlier, she wasn't like a queen or a princess or anything. She just said that she lived in this temple in Egypt, and then she ended up going back to the temple and becoming an Egyptologist, and then figuring out where certain things were supposed to be. Like there were stories that there was this garden, but archaeologists had never found it. And then she was like, I remember the garden, it's right here. And then they go look there, and sure enough, it is there. So she wasn't technically like, but I hear what you're saying. And I know there was a real famous one of this kid who swore he was like a pilot in World War II. So I don't think he was like a prince or a knight. But then again, being a pilot in World War II is up there too. Yeah, Big A, we're going to talk about that when we get to crypto because I think it's very interesting. Digitalverse says, my friend swears every time in his dreams that his teeth fall out. I've heard a lot of people. I've actually had that dream before. Someone he knows close or distant passes away. Oh, yikes. I wonder if anybody passed away when I had that dream. I think I had it one time, though. And there was this one time, because everybody says you should try sleeping naked. And I'd never done it before, so I tried sleeping naked. And bro, that night, all I did was have dreams that I was up in front of people naked. I was like, I'm never doing this again. I swear.
Bro, so people tell me, because I'm definitely not a naked sleeper type of guy. I mean, I'm like an X-ray with hair, so it's really not sex appeal at all. But people think I'm a psychopath because I sleep with socks on. So I want to know, Vault, do you sleep with socks on? In chat, do you guys sleep with or without socks on? Because I've been told from numerous people that I am a psychopath because I sleep with socks on.
Yeah, me and Bud
I just like my feet.
Had a political debate once, and we started off the debate by debating socks or no socks. I'm a socks person. I have socks on all the time. If I try to sleep with no socks on, I get cold. I don't care how hot it is. I get really, really cold. I have to have my socks on. Like, not all the time. Like, if I'm in Florida for the week or whatever, I'm on vacation, I'll walk around in flip-flops and stuff, but at home or whatever.
No, see, I'm like 95 degrees. I got flip-flops with socks on. So.
Yeah,
not even joking.
I'm a sock person. Definitely a sock person. I don't know. I feel more comfortable with socks on. Kryptoni thinks he was a dog or an animal in his past life. Interesting. What gives you that? What makes you think that? Big A says, BE asked me to go on his stream today, and we had a mini FUD discussion, and my collectibles showed up at the end. Maybe VeVe won't like him anymore. No, I've seen the VeVe digital collectibles go to arcade stream when he's like saying the same kind of stuff that I always say about him. They just hate me. I'm the only person they hate. I think it comes straight from Dan Crothers. I called him short one time, and he still hasn't gotten over it. Big A says, what kind of person sleeps with socks on in the summer? Oh, calling the FBI right now. I gotta have my socks on. Mo's gotta have his socks on too. We're not crazy. We just got cold feet.
Well, I wouldn't say we're not crazy, but you know. I know Kryptoni says he was a dog or an animal in his past life. I'm a douchebag in my current life, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. So
Maybe
I don't know
you were
what the
like
hell
a
I was
king
in
or
my
a prince
previous.
in your other life, and now you got to take the other opposite end of it. And then next life you'll be famous or something. Let's see. Kryptoni says,
the dream.
Did you know that women carry DNA from every child they ever conceived, dead or alive, and are the first cells to fight major diseases and wounds? It's a natural protection service the body creates. No, I did not know that. That sounds legit, though. From every child they ever conceived. Okay. So the more kids you have, the healthier you are? Is that what you're saying? Biggest Bro says, no socks unless I'm working. Biggest Bro, you're in some hot weather, though. I mean, if I was in hotter weather, maybe I wouldn't. But, I mean, even right now, it's, like, super hot outside. But I got socks on right now. I'm in my socks. No shoes, just socks. Jeff says, yeah, you're psycho.
I know people that go barefoot all the time. Like, my homie, he was in the, like, Taekwondo and shit. He was always like into the earth and whatever. Like this dude would be barefoot at all times.
Right.
And I'd be like, homie, watch your damn feet, man. Jesus. Coming to my house, getting in my car and shit. Crazy.
It's not hereditary because that's how my kid is. My kid hates having socks on, just like Woody. He never wears socks. Denny OC also never wears socks. Barefooted is the way. Abdullah says, I always have some of the craziest falls in my sleep. Oh, the falling in your sleep is the worst because you wake up so scared for like a split second. Dr. Strange, let's go. Same as me, socks on. He's kind of in some colder weather too. Maybe it depends on the weather you're in, because if you're just used to wearing socks because you live in a place that's kind of cold most of the time, that might be different than if you're like the Biggest Bro and you live in warm weather and you're used to it being warm most of the time. Bitcoin BMW, I agree with this.
I don't like feet. I don't like to look at my. I don't like to look at feet.
I don't like feet either, so I hate feet. Bitcoin BMW says flip-flops with socks is crazy. Now sandals with socks, I did that for a time when it was cool. But flip-flops with socks, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Jeff says, so the woman gets a buff for every child. That's what it sounds like. The woman gets a buff for every child that she has. So the more children you have, the more you are able to fight disease, apparently. Some of y'all need to cover them crusty toes, no doubt. The people with the crustiest toes are the ones that don't wear socks, I'm telling you. Don't forget the toe budget. I don't know what the toe budget is. What he says, maybe they're crusty because y'all sleep with socks on. No, my feet are not crusty. Yeah, no. Jeff says, Biggest Bro don't wear socks because no socks fit his big feet. The Biggest Bro got big feet. No, they always make
my feet are fucked up too, actually, especially my big toes, both of them.
Oh.
Because I'm a hockey goalie.
Oh, right.
When I'm in my stance, right? If you ever take a goalie stance, basically on the front of my toes, my big toes, and they smash into the front of the skate based on my butterfly stance. So they was used to like bleed, and my big nails were always like fucked up. You know what I mean?
Oh, so you got some crusty feet. Yeah, keep them covered up.
Not about crusty, but you know, my big toes are all like almost like hammer toes. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Big A says, I wear socks with Crocs when I walk my dog in winter and then remove when I get back home. I refuse to wear Crocs. My kid loves Crocs. That's all he wears. I've never worn Crocs. I never will wear Crocs. I think they're stupid. I don't know. I don't know what I don't like about them, but maybe they're too trendy. For some reason, I can't deal with the Crocs. Dr. Strange says, I've always been a socks on dude, but now that I'm anemic, it's a must. Yeah, because if you're anemic, you get cold easy, I believe. I could be wrong. Kryptoni says, if I could never get used to something in between my toes as a grown-ass man. Yeah, I'm never big on flip-flops. But like I said, when I'm like in Florida for the week, I can't wear socks. I don't necessarily get flip-flops. I probably did a long time ago, but now that they have so many sandals out there, I just usually get sandals. Jeff's probably right.
It's like a nice pair of like Nike sandals or Nike slides or something. You know what I mean? Just something to throw on, nice and comfortable, like, you know?
Jeff says you got some Shaq toes.
I don't like feet, man. Like, and you know, thankfully my girl is really not into feet either. But you ever date a girl with like a foot fetish?
No, and I've talked about this. I actually made
I
don't know if you saw my YouTube short about it. She doesn't have a fetish or anything, but I dated a girl, and every time I talk about this, she ends up seeing the video and commenting on it. But I dated a girl, and she was a cute girl. She was a pretty girl. She's a doctor. She's really smart. She had the worst ugliest feet I've ever seen in my life. For Christmas, I got her socks, just as a hint. I ain't trying to see that stuff. And then I went to her parents' house
That's the
with
funniest
her.
thing you ever said.
Yeah, I had to give her socks for Christmas, like cover them bad boys up. And then I went to her parents' house, and her mom had messed up feet too. And I kind of like nudged her and was like, she was like, I know, it's all of our family. We're pretty from the ankles up. That's like on their family crest.
It's hereditary.
What is it?
That's hereditary.
Yeah, it's
Hereditary.
They're pretty from the ankles up. Cryptoys says I'm a giver, not a receiver.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah, you had to give her socks for Christmas. At least you take the hint. All right, let's move on to our sports topic of the day. We don't have a lot to talk about in sports. There's not a lot going on in sports unless you watch baseball, which I'm not that boring of a person, so I don't know much about baseball. I like Shohei Ohtani.
Replays in baseball. What fucking grand idea was that?
What, the replays?
Slow the game down even more.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Even baseball highlights are put me to sleep. But there is one particular topic, as you can see in the subject line, the title of this live stream, that we're going to talk about when it comes to sports, and it's the Australian breakdancer Ray Gunn. Mo, did you see Ray Gunn's performance?
Oh, yeah, I was some performance, yeah. Whatever you want to call it.
What'd you think about her?
I was waiting for someone to call the paramedics because I thought she was stroking out.
Oh, hold on a second. Yeah, whenever I messed up your audio, I must have messed it up on every scene, so I have to add you back every time. But that's fine. Give me a second. I don't know why. I don't know how I did that. All right, let me add Mo back. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. No, that was Mo. That was Mo doing it. It's not messed up.
Are we good?
You're back. You're back. Thank you, Woody, for letting me know. Yeah. So, what'd you think about Ray Gunn?
I was waiting for that. I thought somebody was going to call the paramedics. I thought it was like a stroke or a seizure or something, because that's what I look like when I'm looking for my keys. That's breakdancing. I could have sworn that we saw like the upcoming of breakdancing back in like the 80s and 90s. I don't remember it looking like that. But yeah, that was some shit.
Well, there was a little bit of controversy afterwards. It was about a week or two after the Olympics ended, because people were like, how in the world did she win the competition in Australia to become the person who represents Australia? Well, it ends up her husband was on the board of the breakdancing competition and was the one who chose her to go and represent them in the Olympics. And they were showing some of the other Australian breakdancers that were actually pretty decent, but she's the one that got selected because I guess she had a little bit of little bit of somebody in there helping her out. And
the old inside hand job situation. Gotcha.
I wanted to show a video of her dancing, but unfortunately you can't show any Olympics videos.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No, they will take
I couldn't even make a stream called the Mo Olympics without them coming after me. You kidding me?
Exactly.
Those fuckers.
I want to see them Olympics too. That sounds interesting.
Golden rings my ass.
Jeff says, I keep seeing posts about Kawhi Leonard going to Golden State. Is that true? I have not seen anything about that. I do think he's probably going to get moved, though. I thought it was kind of crazy that he, I don't know if he got kicked off of the USA Olympic team or if he quit, but it sounded to me when people were talking about it that he didn't fit in with the squad, and other people said it was because he wasn't sponsored by Nike. But there's some stuff going on with Kawhi. I don't know where he's going to go, but he's probably going to get moved. I know that Chris Paul got moved to the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm really interested to see if the Spurs get any other superstars, maybe somebody like Paul George or something, to go with Wembanyama, because Victor Wembanyama is a beast.
He's good.
Yeah, he got France all the way to the gold medal game against USA, and they actually had a chance of winning until Steph Curry took over. Did you watch the Olympic game? I don't know if we talked about that, the gold medal game.
Yeah, that was about the last time I think we did talk. Okay. Although no, I don't think we did a show after the finals.
Yeah, so in the finals, it was a pretty close game. It was France versus USA. It was kind of interesting that France didn't start or even play very much. What's that guy's name? The defensive player of the year in the NBA. I can't remember his name. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out there. He's a really good player. He's like defensive player of the year 3 times in the NBA, yet he didn't start over some people who were just like off the street. And that was kind of weird. However, they did start Wembanyama. Wembanyama played really well the entire time. Rudy Gobert, thank you, Rob T. I knew somebody would know. Rudy Gobert, they didn't even start Rudy Gobert. And France had a chance to win it, but then Steph Curry got hot, and then he hit like 5 threes in a row, including a falling away 3 with 2 defenders on him. I don't know. He just went wild, and he was the one who kind of won it for USA there.
Oh yeah, and real quick, speaking of threes, raining threes, can we talk about our girl, Caitlin Clark? Holy shit, bro, setting the record already, and there's like 10 games to go.
What
Please,
record did she
that
set?
chick
I
is
haven't seen that.
the goat. The three point record,
Oh,
and
really?
there's still 10 games to go.
So is it
And let
most
me tell you
threes in a
something.
season?
Yeah, most threes in the season. And let me tell you something. First of all, she's got an insanely beautiful shot. And her stats are so bad sometimes, but if you watch, and I've actually started watching some of these recap, condensed replays, man, her team can't even make a fucking layup, dude. They miss like 20 layups a game from her fucking feeds. Like, it's crazy how good her stats could be if they could just hit layups in the WNBA.
Yeah,
But
no, I heard. Let me turn your mic down a little bit. I heard somebody talking about how she has too many turnovers, and then somebody replied with it and said, "These are the turnovers." And they showed the turnovers, and it's all her throwing like regular passes, and her teammates just can't catch. It's so ridiculous.
yeah, bro, she is so good. And man, when they interview her, dude, she is just so freaking humble, man. Like I love everything about her as like an athlete, as a role model. She's so good, man.
Yeah, she plays for the Indiana Fever, so I should probably be paying more attention to it, but I've just never really got into WNBA. I mean, maybe she's the Jordan of the WNBA, but it's her first year. Let's see what she does as she progresses throughout the years. But it is wild. I didn't know that she broke the most threes in the season record already as a rookie. That's wild. Some people are
Yeah.
saying she might have a chance to win the MVP, but I don't even know if she's going to win Rookie of the Year because that other girl, Angel something,
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, has been playing really well. I saw a clip of her just a few days ago getting like 4 offensive rebounds in a row, and I watched the clip and it was just her against 4 defenders, 4 people on the other team, and she just got every rebound. Like they can't
I
stop
saw
her.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like me like at elementary school, just
Yeah,
grabbing rebounds
exactly.
over the kids. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Listen, she's talented too, but I don't know, man. There's just something about the Caitlin Clark thing, and like even before the hype, I just remember seeing some like random highlights, being like, "Who the hell is this?"
Do you think it's because she's
Especially,
white,
like,
or do you think that
draining,
makes
like-
a difference?
Maybe. I mean, listen, it's just I think maybe who I saw first. I just thought, I'm like, damn, this is really good. But no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying maybe. I'm only kidding. No, I think it's good for the game, though. I think it's good to just have multiple people pushing the game, right? That's what Bird and Magic did back then, and Jordan rolled in and passed it over to Kobe and LeBron. I mean, you gotta have people, multiple people pushing it,
True, yeah. And like I was going to say, there's been other white superstars like Diana Taurasi, and it didn't make as much of an impact as Caitlin Clark has. So, like the biggest bro said, Caitlin Clark is a beast. And let me
But
try.
I remember the Taurasi. I remember her coming out of college because that's when I was really like, I used to watch like the NCAA tournaments and stuff. We used to bet on them. I remember her coming out, and I just remember being like, she didn't really strike me as anything special. I don't know, man. Just Caitlin Clark chick again. Everything she does is just like, damn, it's just so fluid. It's so natural. I don't know. And I think if she wanted to, and she wanted to play selfish ball, she could dominate probably any stats that Angel Reese could even put up.
True,
Honestly, I
especially
think
if
she
like the
could.
team was with it and like just setting picks for her nonstop. Yeah, I can see that for sure. Kryptoni says, the whole thing was weird to me. When did we start putting dancing in the Olympics, and why weren't the best breakdancers chosen? If so, I think it was a mockery because black people created it. See, I didn't watch anybody besides Ray Gunn, so I don't know like how well the other dancers were. I don't know like what color they were. I mean, if they're coming from China, obviously they're not going to be black, but I think
Wait, but did they even do a competition? I thought like they were supposed to do it, and then they didn't. Then they had like a representative that come up and did like a showcase or something. Like, was there an actual breakdancing like
did
competition
somebody win
in
the
the
gold
Olympics?
medal? I think somebody did win the gold medal because I think China was in the top 3, which I thought was kind of strange, and I don't think America was in the top 3, but I don't know for sure.
Because like I said, all I really saw was especially the memes. I must have spent like an hour just fucking doom scrolling on Twitter, just fucking laughing my ass off at all, like just putting her in like all these funny situations. It's like, dude.
The kangaroo hop was wild. I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Woody says Caitlin Clark is also the assist record holder and assist in a single game, and she's just a rookie. She's already got all those records. See, I don't keep up enough with it. I'm like Kryptoni. Kryptoni says I still don't care about women's basketball, but I don't really care about men's either. Oh, well, I care about men's basketball. Maybe the next Bird. There's only one Jordan. I mean, there hasn't been a female Jordan yet. Maybe she's the female Jordan. But then again, she's just a shooter, so she's more like a female Curry. But she gets.
Aren't they all shooters in WNBA though? I don't like.
No.
Are there anyone that can actually still dunk?
Angel
I remember
Reese
like when
is
Lisa
like a
Lisa
Charles
Leslie
Barkley
came
type.
into the league.
I've seen him
dude,
dunk
the first
before.
the first Dennis Rodman we get in the WNBA is gonna be wild, bro.
Yes.
Just throwing elbows and shit, coming out with the crazy fucking peacock hair, dude. That would be nuts.
I'm pretty sure Brittany Griner can dunk, and I think I've seen Candace Parker dunk before, so they be dunking, but it's not very often. Bitcoin BMW says pro sports
if
are
you clear out an
fixed.
open lane, I can dunk too. You know what I mean? Like,
can?
can they do it in a game?
Can you?
No,
for
I mean,
real?
I could do it with a mini ball actually, yeah, but not a. I've only dunked a full size basketball like once in my life, and it was luck. It just held on. It just held on my fingers. I can't palm a ball.
Got lucky. Nah, I could never palm. Well, I can probably palm a ball now, but I could never jump. For a while there, I could touch the rim, but I've definitely never dunked before. Chill out, kitty cats. Sorry, y'all. Bitcoin BM says pro sports are fixed and the equivalent of soap operas for men. I don't know if I believe that. Now, the NBA was pretty fixed for a while there. There was a couple of the referees that were fixing games and getting paid from it for sure. But I don't think all pro sports are fixed. But could be wrong. Canada, gold for men's. So Canada got the gold for men's breakdancing. I know they're not doing breakdancing next year. Or not next year, but next Olympics.
Listen, I'm not talking shit about breakdancing at all. Like, I'm just to get that straight. Like, honestly, like I said, growing up in the 80s, 90s, and just seeing, like, I feel like the evolution of it all. I think that shit's cool, man. Like the whole spinning on your head and doing the thing and going down and blah blah blah. Like I can't do it. Respect the people that can.
Kid Arcade
But-
can. I've seen video of him breakdancing.
I'll have you
Yeah.
on that video. But I'm just saying, man. Like, but to put that shit in the Olympics, it just doesn't belong there, bro.
No, it
Like,
doesn't.
why don't put beer pong in the Olympics? Like, what the fuck else? Like, what's next? Like, what's the most ridiculous event that you could think of in the Olympics? Well,
Hide and seek.
Hide and seek in the Olympics. You know, I don't know. Put your fucking bread in a toaster fucking event. Like, who can toast the bread the fucking best or some shit? I don't know. It's just, it's ridiculous, man. Just keep it the way it was.
It didn't make sense.
Like, I
to
think
me.
early on there was like what 13 major events, I believe, in the Olympics. I remember looking it up during the Olympics, but number
Dr.
number
Strange is
escapes
talking
me
about
right now.
Della Donna. Della Donna sounds kind of familiar. Was supposed to be the next coming of Jordan. Obviously, she wasn't because I don't hardly even know her name. Big A says the USA guy won bronze actually in breakdancing. Let's see.
Floor is lava. Yes.
Only routine I seen, to be honest, before the ray gun stuff took over. Let me see what I missed here. Denny OC. I guess that was the only routine. Oh, the Canada guy. See, the ray gun's the only routine I saw from the Olympics. Rob T says, might be time for Vault and his son to become the Indiana Fever guys and rival the Costco guys. I hear that they've been selling out the arena for the Caitlin Clark games, Indiana Fever games. And like I mentioned, when we went to the Pacers-Knicks game 3 of the playoffs, Caitlin Clark was in the building that day. They showed her on the screen. Dr. Strange says, yes, there was an actual breakdancing competition.
Wait, you shared air with Caitlin Clark?
I know, right?
My God, you're like a celebrity.
I kind of am now.
I think I drove by the arena actually when I was in town over there.
Yeah, she was in the same building as me. I was like, my kid was freaking out. She's really here. Dr. Strange says, yes, there was an actual breakdancing competition. Mockery from all nations was a sham to discredit hip-hop. I mean, I didn't see it, so I can't really comment on it, but if it was like some fake breakdancing, then I wouldn't like that. Arcade can breakdance. Yeah, I've seen Arcade dance before. He's really good at it. He did it. I don't know if he did it like, I don't know what professionally means of breakdancing, but he got paid to breakdance. He was that good. Dr. Strange says, not Curry. She would be like Bird. Yeah, I don't know. She's not tall like Bird, though, but you might be right. She might be more Bird than Curry because Curry didn't really pass that much, and she's good with assists. Ozzy says Maya Moore was considered the female Jordan in the past. Awesome player. Yeah, I remember Maya Moore. She was really good. Now, there's supposed to be
I remember
some...
hearing like all these female. Now I watched the tape and I watched him play like for 10 seconds. I was like, ah. But I'm just saying, man, just something when I watch this Caitlin Clark, I'm like, damn, she's something insanely good.
Yeah, WNBA is like baseball to me. I can watch the highlights, but I can't watch a full game because it's just like watching a high school game, honestly. But apparently there's supposed to be some I can't remember exactly what her name is, but some girl who is in college right now that is supposed to be the next female Jordan.
There we go.
This is a good Olympic event right here. Denny OC says they should have a new Olympic event and it should be floor is lava.
I'm down for that. We used to play that shit all the time. I'm down for floor is
We
lava.
always play floor is lava. That would be a great Olympic event. I'm going for the gold. Jeff says gaming going to be in the Olympics soon. I do believe that they will have gaming in there because it's already become a big thing. They had, I don't know, is it esports, e-gaming, esports? They had esports, a big event in Saudi Arabia where they were paying all these content creators tons and tons of money to carry it and to live stream it, and it was a big deal. And I think eventually esports will be in the Olympics too, although I don't know if they should be. It's kind of, I mean, I guess, I don't know. What do you think? Should video game playing be in the Olympics, Mo?
Oh my God. Honestly, no, it should not. But I think we will get to a point where there will be some sort of like major world scale event, series of events with video games. Sure. I don't think it's going to coincide with the Olympics itself, but I think we will see some sort of like organized, massive, again, like on a global scale, like the Olympics.
Yeah, I can see that. Cryptoys says, I guess that Bella lady predicted the Trump shooting. I don't know much about that. But if you want to link me on that, I'd like to check that out. I'll take baseball over golf. I used to watch golf a little bit, actually. I kind of liked golf, especially when Tiger
I play the hell
playing.
out of golf. Watch, yeah. I still love watching Tiger.
Yeah, I loved watching Tiger. I can't play golf.
Tiger
I tried to play golf.
Ernie Els.
I tried so hard to play golf, and I was horrible at it. I can't get that ball in the air. Give me some putt-putt. I'll putt-putt you all day. But I don't know. Something's wrong with my form. It's the one sport that I suck at. So I hate playing things that I'm not good at. And I'm good at everything else, any other sport. And I suck at golf.
Well, the weird thing about golf, and this is where people go wrong, because my uncle was a semi-professional. He used to play on the MGA, which is like the Metropolitan Golf Tour in like the Northeast over here. So I was his caddy for years and years.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, I used to go to all the major tours and stuff and caddy for him. And it's funny, right? Because hitting a golf ball, you're not actually, a lot of people think you have to like sweep it off the ground. That's not how a golf shot actually works. You're actually pushing down, you're compressing the ball into the ground and creating this pivot point where the compression of the ball, that's why if you ever see a perfectly struck golf ball in the air, it looks like an egg. And that's why, because if you actually watch it in slow motion, you're actually creating it, you're pushing down, creating this, and then force coming back up. And that's why you'll hear people be like, you want to roll the wrist or whatever. You don't want to break the wrist too early, but at the right point, when you pivot, you want to go boom. And that's when you turn your hips and you just fire it. So, but that's why most people try to sweep it off the ground.
So technical.
But if you think about it, like creating like a V, like the letter V, press down on the back of the ball, and then it comes back up on the other side with your club.
Yep. Woody sounds like all my old college roommates. You got to keep your arm straight. I know. I'm trying. It doesn't work.
That helps too. Yeah, arm straight. Tuck your right elbow into your pocket on the foul. There's so many things that if you learn too many things as a golfer in the beginning, you're fucked for life.
Oh yeah.
Because you're trying to hold on to all these different mindsets of like a golf shot, and sometimes like I got a big buddy of mine, this dude Timmy, big guy, man. He gets in his head, dude, he's fucking trash, but he's got the most natural, beautiful golf swing without even thinking about it, Right. But the second that he tries to learn and like start doing mechanics and everything, he's just all over the place.
Yeah, my mechanics.
Oh, I Happy Gilmore the shit out of my drives just for laps. Yeah.
Dr. Strange says not tall, but you said she was like Jordan. What? No, I never said Caitlin Clark was like Jordan because she don't take it to the hole. That's what Jordan was the best at. That's why I think she's more like a Bird or a Curry. Biggest Bro says Olympic e-gaming, no, keep it with their own championship. I kind of agree with that. I don't feel like it belongs in the Olympics, but if they're putting breakdancing in there, not be surprised. Let's play mini golf on Meta sometimes. What's up, Wap Mamus? That game is a trip. Mini golf on
Meta. I played the shit out of that.
Oh,
yeah, the mini golf tour, what the hell it's called?
That sounds like something I would play.
Oh, it's fun as hell, dude.
Just Happy Gilmore that beach, and then punch Bob Barker in the face. Rest in peace. All right, let's move on to our politics topic of the day. We don't have any like particular topic of the day. I just wanted to see what Mo thought about the current race and where it's at right now. RFK dropped out and endorsed Trump. What do you think, Mo?
Well, it's been a couple weeks, and I was actually like, man, how many weeks can we push this off before we have to talk politics again? Man, all Trump had to do was get up after the assassination attempt, put his freaking arm up, give the fist pump, and win the damn election. However, he does normal Trump shit and runs his fucking mouth. And here's the problem, right? Because they're just protecting Kamala Harris, and she's not talking, she's not doing anything, which is great for her. But then Trump has nothing to talk about, so he just starts running his fucking mouth. And he was prepared for Biden.
All right, stop, Mo, stop for a second. I forgot to fix your volume again.
No, that was such a good rant.
It was too. I'm sorry. Let's see. It's this one right here. My bad, y'all. I don't know what I did to the volume. It was all set up before we started. All right, sorry about that. Start the rant over again, Mo.
Oh my God, that was such a good rant. I don't even know if I could.
Woody says I'm censoring you.
right, so yeah, so I said, oh god, oh god, oh god. It's just like, man, how many weeks can we push this off before we have to talk politics? Because, dude, all Trump had to do was go through the assassination attempt, get up, pump his fist, and win the damn election. However, he decided to do normal, typical Trump stuff and run his mouth like a fucking buffoon and just make himself look bad, while Kamala Harris does nothing and they just protect her, and which is smart. And they're working on some stuff. But man, this is not looking good. And the RFK Jr. stuff. Now, we haven't talked, but Joe Rogan backing RFK Jr. was one of the most catastrophic things that could have happened to Trump's campaign. And I've had people even scoff at it, and I'm like, listen, you can say what you want, but Joe Rogan's the #1 fucking podcast, especially here in America. So if you're telling me that that's not swaying voters, I don't know what to tell you. Especially the ones that they're trying to get persuaded to vote. So him throwing his hat in the ring with RFK Jr. was crazy. And then he kind of, tried to backtrack it a little bit. But then RFK Jr. just getting out of the race now definitely helps Trump. But listen, here's the deal. I'm just starting not to like any of this shit, honestly. I hate the whole fucking unity and fucking good vibes fucking approach that we got on one side with no sort of plan or action, just good vibes all around, great. And then we got the other side, which just sounds ridiculous sometimes, thinking about, again, tax cuts and everything that we're looking at coming up, right? Because Trump's, his things are going to end here coming up at the end of the year. I don't know, man. It's fucking wild. I don't know what to do. But that was my rant. It's been a couple weeks. It was
a good rant, too, and I didn't mean to censor you. Sorry about that. I rugged you, so I didn't have to hear that right-wing talking point. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think
he's got that sizzle, Doc. He's got that sizzle.
I think RFK was working with Trump the entire time, and they showed that phone call that RFK had with Trump that was recorded. It shouldn't have been recorded. They didn't want it to be recorded. In the phone call, Trump even says, we're going to win this together or whatever, and he was still a candidate at the time. And I think when Joe Rogan endorsed RFK, Trump really started to get worried that he was going to take away more votes from Trump than he was from whoever the Democratic candidate was. And the whole idea of RFK being in this race from the beginning, because he's been working with Trump from the beginning, was for him to take votes away from the Democrats because he's a Democrat. But unfortunately, he was taking more votes away from Trump. So they colluded together and was like, you gotta drop out and endorse me, and it's going to be a big deal, and everybody's going to be super excited, although, like I said, it was all behind the scenes crap. And then after he drops out, I found out all this information about his past. Like, I didn't even know about RFK cheating on his wife with 37 women. And then his wife finds his diary and finds out about it and hangs herself. I'm like, what the heck? His wife hung herself because he cheated on her and took the kids away. I mean, he was kind of, he was into some crazy stuff that if it would have came out, and, if he was an actual candidate that had a chance, all that would have came out and people would have ran away from him as soon as possible. I don't think they're really hiding Kamala right now. I've seen some interviews that she's done already, but I think they're kind of like trying to get all of her policies together because she just became the candidate not that long ago. And she does have a few policies that she's already put out there, like the one putting anti-gouging laws into effect. What do you think?
They already have those on the state level, though. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's just regurgitating some weird shit. And okay, the $25,000 housing tax credit. I mean, you got people in housing credit, right? Housing in California right now. They're just trying to get fucking illegal immigrants fucking housing left and right. Like, what the fuck is that gonna do, man? Like, this shit's crazy, bro. People I know that really need help can't even get it, and you got this fucking bullshit going on. Like, that's the stuff I just don't agree with.
Yeah, I can see why people are upset about that, for sure. But I do like the fact that she's talking about taxing the rich people more, taxing capital gains, and then
gotta do it.
All the people on Twitter are talking about telling these middle class people that, oh, look, they're taxing unrealized capital gains. That's going to mess you up. But the bill or the policy itself says it only affects people with a net worth of $100 million or more. And they always leave that part out whenever they're trying to criticize it. But I think that's what they need to do. That's who they need to be taxing more, is the people who have a net worth of $100 million or more. And guess what? After they tax them, they're still going to be rich and live on a yacht. So, I mean, they're still going to own
So that's
yachts.
True. That's true on a personal level, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you look at the business tax cuts, right, which, again, a lot of them should be higher, right? But here's the deal. If you tax businesses at a higher threshold, right, you now put people out of work, and now you drive business out of the country, right? And that's not good either. So again, this is why my centrist mind is always going to say, hey, let's tax the rich, but let's be careful on how we do it, right? Let's not fuck up our own economy. Let's get sanctions on other fucking countries that are fucking buying fucking shit from terrorist groups, you know what I mean? And fucking funding them. Like, let's just get a little bit of both sides in one little fucking cooking pot. and fucking let's make it work. You know what I mean? Because everybody, there's good ideas on both sides. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I'm like, I don't know what the fucking think anymore. I'm just like, dude, I just want Trump to shut the fuck
Oh, he never
up
will.
already, dude.
Oh
my
doesn't shut
god.
up.
And I'm a Trump fan. I'm just like, dude, would you please just shut up? All you had to do was show up and win the damn election. And now, you're just hurting yourself every time you freaking open your mouth. So,
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
one of the other policies that Trump put out there was no taxes on tips, and then Kamala kind of copied his policy and also said no taxes on tips, and that's a bad policy. Like, she shouldn't have done that, because no taxes on tips is a bad policy. That's not what those people want. What they want is not to be able to earn less than minimum wage, because I know I worked as a waiter. IHOP, Denny's, and Steak and Shake, that they can give you $1.50 an hour or $2 an hour and say it's because you're making tips as well. But right now, what that industry is pushing for, what those unions are pushing for, is so that they make at least minimum wage plus tips. And if you're going to not tax the tips, then that de-incentivizes those industries from allowing them to make at least minimum wage.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing too, and we talked about this on other shows, but you know, a lot of the business tax credits that they were doing for like AI research and, you know, automation, right?
Right.
What that was really doing to giving tax credits to businesses that took part is it's basically putting the employees out of business anyway. Because again, you're fighting and they're talking about tax, you know, let's not tax the tips and yada, 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 but let's face the truth. 98% of the workforce of these places are going to be fucking AI robots and machines rolling around with, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
So it doesn't matter. Like, you're tipping the fucking company anyway, which is a whole, I mean, shit, I don't know about you, brother, but like, I am so sick and tired of like going anywhere. It's like, would you like to tip? Hey,
Bro,
we noticed you didn't leave a tip.
They
hey,
asked
don't
for
forget
tips
to
at the freaking gas station, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm like,
come
who the fuck
on.
are you, bro? You didn't do nothing. Maybe if you do your job and do something, I'll fucking tip you. I was like, here's a tip. Get a new job. Piece of shit. Like, it's fucking crazy, man.
The donut shop we have in town, we get donuts usually every weekend, especially when my kid has friends over. We always get donuts, and the donut shop people ask for a tip every time, and I feel bad not tipping, and I've actually started tipping. Subway also asks for a tip, but whenever they ask you for a tip and you don't tip them because you don't think you should have to tip for something like that, they give you a dirty look, and it makes you feel bad. I don't know.
Yeah, dirty look, and then God forbid they got to turn their back or get the meat out of the back. You're like, what the fuck are they doing to my meat? You know, like.
Yeah. True.
When me and my girl, we go out to dinner, right? And like, sometimes, you know, she'll drive, whatever, she'll pick me up, and then she's tired from work or whatever, had a bad day, and she gets like the drive-through window, and you know, the fucking machine, you know, they came in here, people like,
Yep.
can I take your order, whatever, and, you know, and then my girl will say the order, and then they can't hear her, and she has to repeat herself. And if she gives like any sort of attitude with her repeat of the order, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, do not piss off the people that fuck with my food. Like, that's rule number one, you know what I mean? Because I can't see what the hell they're doing. But same thing with the tipping, man. Yeah, it's like they even like ask you on the way in sometimes. And it's like, hey, would you like to leave a tip? It's like, dude, I just got here. Like, what the fuck, man?
Ask you on the way in, that'd make me mad. I'd just turn around and leave. But yeah, especially if you live in a small town and you got a place to ask for tips, you don't tip the first couple of times, and you come in the next time, they know you're the guy that don't tip. Who knows what they're doing to your food in the back, you know? Or maybe they're gonna skimp on how many fries you get or something. I don't like tipping culture at all. I mean, I don't mind it for what it's supposed to be for, waiters and pizza delivery drivers and strippers. Or, okay, maybe not strippers. I'm just saying. All right. Dr. Strange says, I haven't seen a viral Joe Rogan video in months. I think Terrence Howard was the last thing that really went viral, but I don't really keep up a lot with it. But you don't see him as much as you
it shows up on my
to.
feed, but
yeah,
that's because I listen and follow a lot of that crap, so.
Dr. Strange says, just remember when
Yours
Democrats
is probably
say
all VeVe and NFTs, Doc.
Just remember when Democrats say they are going to tax the rich, that would be them taxing themselves. Does that make sense to you? I mean, there's a lot of people out there like Bernie Sanders, and I can't even mention all of them, that don't mind paying more taxes, like Mark Cuban, and they'll tell you, we don't mind paying more taxes because that's what needs to be done. So I think there are people out there that have good morals, believe it or not, and most of them are on the Democrat side, let's be honest. Woody says they don't tip in Europe, and when the Europeans come to America, they still don't tip. Trust me, I know.
Oh, bro. So actually, I meant to tell you this. So when you were gone, we didn't do the show. Ice Poseidon, you know who that is?
Yes.
Yeah, so like real cringe lord streamer from
Yep.
like early Twitch days, right? Banned on Twitch, whatever.
Yep.
I never liked his content, but he did on Kick, he did a real life Hunger Games, right? With a bunch of like random ass streamers.
Yeah, I think
Threw
I
him
saw
out
that.
on this crazy field in Texas for like 7 days, right?
Yep.
Bro, it was some of the coolest shit ever, man. And I forgot the hell my point was. Damn it! I was gonna say something, and I got distracted reading chat.
Well, think about it. Let me catch up with the chat while you think about it.
Real quick.
DMLC is talking about how they want to tip before they perform the service, and when he worked as a sandwich artist, we weren't allowed to put a tip cup out. You know, actually, when I worked at a liquor store, for some reason they had a tip cup, and people tipped me all the time. And I was like, they were like, people asked me too. This was a while back too. Why do you have a tip cup? And I'm like, I don't know. It was here when I got here, so I just leave it here. And I got a lot of tips, believe it or not. BK says,
that was the point of my story actually. So they had dudes from Japan in the event, and then they were hanging out afterwards. They did like IRL stream at the bar or whatever. And the bartender got heated because over there, their culture, whatever, like there's a bunch of people that were there. It's not in their culture to tip. But like the bartenders were getting fucking pissed, man. Like but that's why it reminded me of that. Sorry.
I would be too, because bartenders, that's how they make their money, is off of tips. But then again, like you said, they don't do that in their culture, so they don't even know they're supposed to. But then again, sometimes they know they're supposed to tip, but they use that as an excuse. Like, we don't do that where we're from.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like one or two of the guys might have actually been playing that card.
Right.
I know actually one of the American dudes was just like slipped the bartender a shit ton of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to kind of like shut him up, but.
Big A says he ordered a birthday cookie cake, and when I went to pick it up, she takes it from the counter and hands it to me and then gives me side eye when I didn't tip. Sorry you didn't do anything tip worthy. Trust me, I know. When I go pick up, I order pickup. I never do delivery because I don't want to pay the charge. But when I pick up my order at a restaurant, they expect a tip and give me a dirty look. But it's like, who am I supposed to tip? The cook? What did you do? All you did was take the order and hand it to me. You didn't do shit to deserve a tip, man. Get out of here with that crap. Jay Hirsch says, what's this new bill in California allowing undocumented immigrants to qualify for a $150K loan to purchase a home? $150K? Undocumented immigrants.
I thought it was $25K, but...
I thought it was like a credit, not necessarily. I don't know. I don't know all the details on it. I don't know. I don't think they should be giving undocumented immigrants those type of... I mean, why are we letting them buy houses if they're not citizens? I don't know. Daniel C says, the tip should be given for effort, given for service. Yeah, exactly. Dr. String says, they say they will pay more taxes. Hasn't happened, has it? No, trickle-down economics never works. All the wealthy have things set up.
Sounds good, though.
Yeah, so they don't pay taxes and still carry the load. That's why we need more IRS agents to go after those people. But the Republicans defund the IRS so that they don't have people going after them. That's kind of the whole point of why Republicans want to defund the IRS so much. Biggest Bro says at the LAX... bar I work at, it's an auto 20% tip automatic. It's crazy, and I still get paid $25 an hour. Yeah, LA is expensive though. You gotta have a lot of money to be in LA. You gotta be loaded if you're going to LA.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, $25 an hour, but your fucking studio apartment to like $2,000.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Dr. Strange says, should we believe just because Fox told us? I want to believe, like the poster over Fox Motors' shoulder in his office. It doesn't matter who runs for office because what they told us all is bogus. I mean, they're all con artists and Congress and politicians, and that's because we have legal bribery. If we didn't have legal bribery and you couldn't
money out of politics, baby.
Exactly. Money has to get out of politics, and that's how you get all the crooks out of politics. If you're putting money in politics, you're attracting the con men. That's the problem. It's been the problem since Reagan. I've talked about it every week. I say it. And
money
even
talks and bullshit walks.
Yep. But he says they're not waiting, so they make at least minimum wage. They shouldn't expect a tip. Exactly. So the people that are waiters, they don't even get to make minimum wage. They make like $2 an hour, so they should get tipped, and they should expect a tip. And if you're from Europe and you don't tip in Europe, too bad. You tip in America. But if you're just, you're making your regular pay working at the gas station or the donut shop, then you shouldn't expect a tip. But they do. That's how it is. What's up, Kobe Collects in the building? Let's go. Good to have you in the chat, my man. We're talking politics right now, so it's getting wild. Cryptoys says, what do you think about the new Wolverine drop? Wait, we'll get there. I'm going to start adding a tip to my invoices. People don't love that. You just said the lyrics to a hook.
No, people don't love it, but you know what? It works. Because you just said, you were like, oh, I didn't really want to tip, but now I just do. Because, and now you just tip. Because it worked.
I feel bad. I feel bad when I don't tip and they give me a dirty look, and I'm afraid that they're going to mess with my food because I live in a small town. We got like 4 restaurants. I'm going to be back and they're going to recognize me, and I don't want to be recognized as the dude that don't tip.
Are you right?
we're going to move on to the next topic here. Let me see what Jay's saying. It's 20% in down payment assistance up to $150,000. Good luck finding a home in California under $750,000. Yeah, California homes are super expensive. So what undocumented immigrant has enough to cover that $600K difference? None of them, and they can't get a loan. Are you sure you're talking about documented immigrants or immigrants seeking asylum? Because there's a difference there. People always call them illegal aliens, but if you're legally seeking asylum, and I don't necessarily think that they should be able to stay in the country while they legally seek asylum, especially whenever a lot of them have bogus claims to asylum. However, that's the law, so they're not really illegal. All right,
have we talked, wait, real quick, have we talked since about the Dr. Phil thing that I saw?
I don't think so.
So the really interesting Dr. Phil, where he went to the border, right? And during the Biden administration, and they were basically showing, like, it almost looked like a game of like kill the man with the ball, like out in the old schoolyard, right?
Yeah.
And what would happen was, and this is why I think the whole game is comical, because
you know what we used to call that game?
What'd you guys call it?
Smear the something. I'm not gonna say it. I don't.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot. Yeah. We didn't really call it that. But
go ahead.
I've heard that, yeah. But it was just a whole documentary or expose or whatever, and he goes down to the border, right? And what you would see is like, because you know, Biden always talk about like, oh, we hired so many more agents and this and that, right? Which is true. Actually, it is true. But Dr. Phil just blows it up and exposes it, man. Like, the people trying to come over the border, it's just a matter of who catches you, right? So if you're in like a brown suit, you're the Mexican side. If you're the green suit or whatever, you're in the American side. So like they're just told like, oh, the brown suits will just walk away. So they run to the green, because as soon as you get onto the American side, they have to put you in and run you through the system. And they basically just give you like a fucking bus ticket and send you on your way. It's like, just because they dodged a brown outfit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy to me, dude. And that's like the game. And that's why like a lot of things like, oh, we are hiring border agents. Listen, it's true. It's not saying it's not true, but it's kind of weird the way they're just kind of like looking the other way, and then you got like the Mexican side being like, oh yeah, no, but like they'll bump into the fucking guy and just let him go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like the
way
they
crazy game, you know?
It doesn't make sense at all. They got to come up with some type of border reform.
Yeah, but anyway, I wasn't sure if we talked since I saw that. I
don't remember that. I don't think I saw anything about that. So that'd be an interesting video for me to check out. What he says, I worry that if I don't tip picking up a pizza, they're gonna put a code next. Yeah, I do too. Accountant spitting our food next time. Yes, that's not paranoia. That's how I feel too. I worked at restaurants. We spit in food. I mean, not me personally, but I seen it happen. So you should be worried. Jason.
Oh, I know people personally. Like I said, I would never. I've delivered food my entire life, pretty much. Never ever fuck with somebody's food. But I know people that were like, yo, DoorDash or Uber Eats, and they were like, oh, I fucking deliver this place all the time, and blah, blah, blah. I wipe my ass, like the old French toast in the ass cheek from, what was that, Road Trip?
Yep, Road Trip. I love that movie. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, that movie's hilarious. I boinked her. He's like, what's that, a parachute? Like, no, it's her panties.
And especially with DoorDash and all Uber Eats now, those are kind of like not even as attached to it as pizza delivery guys, because those people have actual jobs. But I mean, the people that are doing like Uber Eats and DoorDash, they don't give a crap. You make them mad, they will mess with your food 100%. They will write your address down in their car on a pad of paper, and the next time you order something, it's over with. So
and I only order from places that I know seal and staple the bags.
Oh, really?
If they don't seal them, I do not order from those places.
Yeah, that's smart. That's what I'm going to start doing. Dr. Strange says there's literally an article out showing how in Minnesota or some state got caught trying to allot $111 million for home loans for migrants. Google is your friend. Migrants is different than undocumented immigrants. I mean, that might be something they need to do so that they have workers in Minnesota. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. What's up, fun under the sun? Let's go. What's up?
Minnesota.
Don't you know? Biggest Bro says, never F with people that handle your food. Yes, that is words to live by right there, I promise you. Remember the show Waiting, the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds? He said with Ryan Reynolds. Yes, I love that movie too. I've seen him several times. Yes, Woody knows. Road Trip is a great movie. Tom Green. All right, let's move on to the next topic, y'all.
Would you like some sausage? No, that was Freddy got fingered.
Yep, Freddy got fingered. This one is, this is our Web3 gaming topic, and we don't have any particular games to talk about. However, we have something interesting to talk about. I'll let Mo tell you about it. Go ahead, Mo.
Yeah, slow. Actually, it's not a slow week in gaming. However, Due to NDAs, I can't really speak exactly on what I've been doing, but I can tell you the name of
Wait, I gotta add you again.
Rug me again.
Crap.
Rug again.
Well, every time. Oh my goodness. I mean, I had this all fixed before we started the stream. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, we're back. Yeah, so gaming, again, a little light this week, but not really because of nothing to play. But there might be something with an NDA that stands in the way. And what I can say is that Vault may or may not have my album cover on the stream right now.
I do.
My album is titled Off the Grid. I mean, you guys may or may not have. I mean, we've actually might have talked about that game potentially coming out down the road. I could potentially say it's one of the coolest things I've ever, potentially played in my life. That's really all I got on the gaming front, and I don't know if Big A taking part in the weekend. I know we probably can't say either, but hit me up if you are, brother. But anyway, that's all we got on the gaming front. Other than that, though,
so you can't tell us the name of the game or anything? This is a Web3 game that you are associated with? In what way? Are you, like, creating content for them? Are you helping to design? Wait,
I'm underwater again.
Is his mic not working still? It looks like it's working on my end. Let me know if y'all can hear Mo. Seems like it's fine on my end.
Hello. Check.
All right, we're good. No, we're good.
Okay, we're good now.
All right,
he was behind. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm not part of the game. I'm just a tester. But again, NDA, stuff like that, can't really talk too much about anything. But my album title was Off the Grid. Just saying.
Always giving hints. Always giving hints, y'all.
Yeah. So, maybe look that up, and I can assure you that my album will not be the first thing that pops up, especially if you put Web3 game at the end of it. But yeah, no, seriously, we are looking at the. I feel like we're looking at the evolution and the tipping point of Web3 gaming finally starting to catch up to like actual gaming. So, again, with a couple games coming out. I just saw an interview with FaZe Banks, really talking about the Web3 narrative and Web3 gaming. So, yeah, there's, like I said, a couple different games really to keep an eye on. And like I said, PFL, new season. That's why we didn't do a show last week with the championships, but we're in a new season now. They made a lot of changes there, a lot of new cheap races to get into. So, if you start wind up getting a bunch of horses that are like, I don't really know what to do with them, you can put them in like $1, $2 claimer races now, where people can just claim them for cheap prices, but it doesn't cost you much to enter. Because it's not really about winning the purse money if it's not that good of a horse. You just want to, maybe somebody else wants to race in a claimer, or they feel like you misraced a horse, So,
and for those that don't know,
some good moves.
PFL stands for Photo Finish Live. It is a Web3 horse racing game on the Solana blockchain. My horse has just become of age, I guess, since we just had Foals Day. So I didn't have any horses give birth this week, but I do have a new horse that I can now race. I need to name it. I need to come up with a Marvel name for it and send it in its first race. But my horses have not been doing well. I don't know if the competition is harder now or I just suck at it. I don't put enough time into it. But I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention to it because my horses are so trash. But I'm not breeding anymore. I'm saving that money for racing fees. So that's kind of my plan going forward with Photo Finish Live. I definitely think it's a very dope game. We've said it all along. We used to live stream back when it was beta, maybe even when it was alpha, way back in the day. So we've been into Photo Finish Live for a long time, and it looks like they are progressing well. I don't know how big that community is. Which community do you think is bigger, Mo? The VeVe community or the Photo Finish Live community?
I feel like VeVe probably has more registered users, but I think active, probably PFL.
Interesting. That's probably what I would say too. And shout out to Adroid Darrow.
Registered. I think a lot of people have at least tried VeVe. You know what I mean?
Yep. And we got my homie Mohammed Gofrez in the house. What's up, Mohammed? Let's go. You're here a little late though. We're about to get into crypto and we're going to talk VeVe. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Let me fix your mic before anybody says anything. Let me go ahead and do that first. We'll talk a little bit about Cryptoys. I don't know if you, well, Mo, you're an ambassador, so you probably know Cryptoys just announced today, I think, their Toykin marketplace. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Is he underwater again, y'all? Can you give us some info on the Toykin marketplace, how it works or whatever?
Oh, I cannot. I am so out of the loop. I'm still waiting for gamification that they told me was coming a year ago. Um, yeah, I am a Cryptoys ambassador. But yeah, I think it's just a marketplace that allows you to use their in-game currency to buy and sell the toys
What's their
instead of
in-game
like real
currency? Is
currency.
this like a crypto, or is it something that you? I mean, what is Token?
No, Token is their. I could be mistaken on this, but I'm pretty certain that Token is like their V-Bucks.
Oh, so it's not crypto?
I don't think that's their crypto token. I don't know if that's going to be on an exchange or anything. I'm not. Like I said, man, I don't have time to sit around and wait for projects to catch up. You know what I mean? And make no money in the meantime.
Right.
Maybe somebody in chat, but yeah, I mean, I saw the rundown on it, but it just looked like a regular ass marketplace, and you can just use in-game currency. Now that I do know that those tokens, whatever you're gonna earn by playing, like the games and experiences, but I'm pretty sure that's not like an actual cryptocurrency,
And they don't have
especially
any
on
games
their
yet.
app, because you'd have to KYC if there was any sort of crypto link to that, right?
Right,
I
so
would
it's
think
not
so.
crypto. Biggest Bro is over here. He says Token is like V-Bucks, just like you said, Mo, and that
Yeah.
you
Okay.
cannot turn in Tokens for money.
Okay.
But you
Well, I remember, remember reading. But
okay.
yeah, I
I
mean,
got you.
I don't know how well it's doing. I had items listed on the other marketplace. I don't know if anything ever sold. I mean, I have like single-digit mints, low mints of grails, and if people want to pay less than like $50. I mean, I'll just hold it.
Yeah, I
Didn't
know
really
you got
seem
a
like there
pretty
was
good
much of a buyer's
collection.
market.
You've opened a lot of cubes, so I know you got a pretty strong collection. I know I tried to withdraw one of my collectibles through the digital toy exchange, and then it got stuck. And then after it got stuck, I don't know if it went back into my wallet or it actually got withdrawn and went to my MetaMask. I'm not even sure because I haven't checked in a long time. I'm just waiting for the gamification like you. Once we have gamification, if it's some good gaming, if it's something that I can earn Toykins with and somehow earn enough Toykins to buy collectibles, then I'll be a lot more interested. But I'm still waiting for the gamification.
Well, that's
For
what it is. And, the same reason why I don't stream a lot of NFT crap anymore, the projects, is, as an ambassador, they don't want us to speculate. All right? Well, if you don't want me to speculate, you got to give me something to do. And if you're not going to give me anything to do, I'm just going to go somewhere else in the meantime. Like, I still love, I mean, I think Will, outside of Ian, is probably still one of the brightest people in the space. I mean, let's not get it twisted. But again, I mean, time is short. VeVe, I don't know, are they building a NFT platform for us or our fucking next generation of children? Like, I don't know how much time we're supposed to wait. You know what I mean? For shit to mature. And I don't know if we're really going to get into that in the VeVe section with some of the tweets or whatever, and like calling out management or whatever. But like, dude, it's just things that we've said all along.
Yeah.
Like, we see this shit a mile away. You know what I'm saying? And it's just now coming to fruition. But I don't know how long we're supposed to wait. Like, maybe they should email us and be like, hey, just give us another 3 fucking years or something.
I feel like they should give us something like that. Give us some type of timeline, but I don't think they want to because the timeline is going to be so scary. It's going to be like 5 years, 2
Yeah,
years.
if they're realistic and they're truthful, yes. But if they do what they normally do, they come up with some weird condensed time frame bullshit, and then they cry because we hold their fucking feet to the fire of like, why aren't you fulfilling your promises? You know what I mean?
Right. Yep.
Like,
Muhammad Gofraz asks, is Toykins worth more than gems on VeVe? No, because gems are worth $1 each, and Toykins have no monetary value, I would say. One
yeah, it's
Toykin.
just, I don't know, man. It's like I said, I love Will, I love everything they're doing, but I don't have time for Toykins and fucking fake money markets and whatever. Like, I got bills. Unless I can start paying my bills and shit in Toykins, like that stuff doesn't really interest me at all.
Yeah, like I said, once they get gamification, though, it's going to be pretty interesting. Shout out to Not Sure is in the chat. Biggest Bro says 1 Toykin is equivalent to 1 penny. I don't think he's being, I don't think he's joking. You can buy 1,000 Toykins for $10. So, yeah, 1 Toykin is equivalent to 1 penny, and 1 gem, despite what Muhammad says, is worth $1. So, I guess 100 Toykins equals 1 gem on VeVe. Interesting. All right, so yeah, and on candy, Mo, have you heard about the candy
Yes.
interoperability when they gave
Yes, I wanted to bring this up. Yeah, I meant to actually DM you about this during the week.
So what'd you hear about it?
You're talking about the one-way out situation right now?
Yeah, you can withdraw your back cows, but you can't bring them back.
Right now.
right now.
They did go on to say, I believe in that release or post or whatever the fuck it was, that eventually they will work it in so that you can bring them back. But for now, if you send them out, they're gone. Like, yeah.
All right, well, that's a little better because the way I understood it was once you withdraw your bat cow, you can't bring it back in. And the thing with not being able to bring them back in, even with the comics, if you withdraw a comic and you can't bring
I
it
think I was
back
actually
in.
not sure. That might have clarified whoever posted that originally. Now that I think about it. But yeah, it was the phase 1, phase 2 thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right now it's
Okay.
phase 1 because if you can't bring those comics back, there's no way to read the comics because the only way you can read the comics is on their platform. So what would be the point of buying a comic on a secondary market if you're not a candy user and you don't plan on bringing it back? It has no utility whatsoever, just like the bat cows would have no utility unless they're on the platform.
I still wonder what the utility of interoperability is anyway, and I'm still starting to look at it this way. Like, why would I take an NES cartridge and try to jam it into a fucking Sega Dreamcast? Like, it's just not going to work. But I can understand having like a video game rental store, like a Blockbuster, rip. You know what I'm saying? Where you like send them out for a short term, someone else comes in and grabs it, and now they bring it back into the ecosystem, right? Like,
Yes.
I can understand that part of it, but bringing any asset outside of its original intended ecosystem makes zero sense as a whole, right? But again, I do understand, like, okay, we go to like a Blockbuster video type deal, you know? But
And also it's the ability to have your ownership, of your own asset. I mean, it's not really an asset if you're not able to do whatever you want with it, I guess. So the ability to take it off the platform and put it into your MetaMask wallet and do anything you want with it is kind of the
Sure.
reason they have the interoperability. But if you can't bring it back, then what's the point? Like, I'm not interested at all until you can bring it back.
yeah, I'm right there with you. And again, with the candy, and my uncle actually hit me up yesterday. He was like, "Oh, hey, I realized I got some coins or whatever on candy." And I was like, "Hey, congratulations, Unc," And then the next message was like, "Oh, they ain't worth shit." Like, because again, value over there, like no one's really buying anything, no one really cares. The same thing with the VeVe comics, like they've already released the majority of the DC stuff. What the hell is next? Now we're just getting like Young X-Men Avengers Series
Right.
4, number 293, right? Like,
Stuff
who
that nobody
gives a
cares
shit?
about. Yep.
Yeah, the first appearance of Sockboy, like. But I'm just saying, like, for me, that's why, like, does anybody really give a shit? And I feel like long term, I still feel like we have the right vision. And you talked about it, right? Like, you see it with your kid. I know, like, a lot of my younger cousins and people that have kids. They don't want anything physical, man. Like, they don't want to like lug. It's like a inconvenience,
Yeah.
So I still feel like when it comes to collecting long term, I feel like that generation probably will hold value with it. But right now, I don't know. That's what I was going to touch on with the game, and we can just kind of tie it together. When it comes to like NFTs and gaming too, I'm starting to wonder how much value is really there, dude. Like, I hate most video games that are pay to win. But yet, the more I play these Web3 games, they all just seem like, oh, okay, well, just spend more money and it's easier. It's just pay to win, pay for convenience, right? Unless you do like what Big Time does, and they just do like cosmetic only.
Right.
So if that's the case, then now it just becomes like Fortnite skins, but on the blockchain. And I'm cool with that. I think that works perfectly, But when it comes to like my World Shards game where I'm out there and I'm like using like an axe, you know what I'm saying, that's worth like $500 or whatever, I don't know how many people are really going to get on board with shit like that. And I think it's the same with the crypto and the comics and candy, right? Like,
Well, what about this? What if World of Warcraft was Web3? I mean, it's
don't even get me. I don't even want to talk to you about my game idea because I'm actually working on something. But yeah, I know. Yeah.
because it's so
Listen,
popular.
I'm there with you.
If
But
it's,
here's the thing. No, it won't be. Because they've already tried it. Diablo 2 had a real money marketplace that was shut down because of the outrage from the gaming community. They already tried this shit fucking 15 years ago.
Because the
You
gaming
know what I'm
community is a
saying?
bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds. Wait until the kids come up and they start playing these games. Like maybe GTA 7 is Web3. Now they would be into that. Don't you think?
Listen, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that when people look at what gaming companies have tried in the past, and then the outrage and the pushback against it. I mean, dude, they shut down that real money marketplace. I think like almost like instantly. Like it was like DraftKings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Like I feel like if it just overpowers people, it's just like it just becomes a whole nother 99% versus the 1% type of deal, and the 99% is like, fuck it, why would I play that game?
Yeah.
You know?
True.
But if it's like, oh, it's an NFT where I can dress up and there's like a MoKnowz avatar and a Vault avatar, right? But like the only thing it does is make you look different, or it's like a a cosmetic, aura or something like that. Then maybe I see that kind of taking off. I don't know about this whole Web3 gaming, dropping NFTs in the world, and I feel like that shit's just gonna be not received well.
Well, I think VR gaming still hasn't become a big thing yet, but I think eventually it will whenever they come out with a good enough game and when everybody can afford an Apple Vision Pro. Eventually, the next Fortnite, if the next Fortnite is a VR game, well, then these users might be more acceptive. They might accept the idea of Web3 gaming now that it's VR and you feel like you're in a metaverse. Maybe then they'll be more interested in buying, selling, and collecting these digital assets that they can use in the game, whether it gives you a boost or not, or it's just cosmetic. I just think that you change like the whole dynamic of gaming when you get to the VR stuff, and it's coming. I can tell just because I've played Oculus Quest a lot myself, and I know that.
Oh, same here.
Yeah, eventually that technology is going to catch up. Everybody's going to catch on. You're going to have a blockbuster game at some point, and people are going to get into it. And then when you're in a whole different gaming dynamic, maybe people will be more receptive of the idea of Web3.
Right, but okay, so I'm just going to give you from a gaming background, right? Remember, I worked at Ubisoft, EA, doing a lot of testing, right? And the one thing that the pushback is always on free-to-play games is when you could just pay for advantages, right? And that will turn people away quicker because it gives you an excuse, right? If I'm fighting you and there's even the remote possibility of pay to win by buying better items and I kick your ass, you will always use the excuse of like, oh, well, that guy just spent more money than me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So like that's a big hurdle for these companies. So again, and I think I think you're right though. I think the VR will add more elements. I do think VR finally got a decent game. I don't know if you played it. That I think you had to have the new Meta Quest 3 or whatever the fuck it was, but that new like RPG game with the shield and like that, graphics were good, fucking gameplay was solid,
No, I haven't checked it out. See, my favorite game was this game called Echo. I used to play the crap. I used to play it every day, and then they shut it down. It was a free game, and they just shut it down. We're like, we're not gonna host a server anymore, so you just can't play anymore. So I just quit playing VR after that because it made me mad.
Yeah, and the biggest problem with VR, and I had this discussion with my homie for years, the one who passed away recently, like, he was right. Like most of these VR games, quote unquote, aren't games. They're experiences. They're like little slices of an experience. You know what I'm saying?
They're small.
And that's the biggest problem with VR because until you just make it mainstream where it's like, okay, cool, make a game, seamless VR in and out. Maybe you can play the game on your phone and seamlessly play the same game in VR while carrying everything over. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like, yeah, AR and too, I mean, I still think the Apple Vision Pro, I know it didn't do well, but we said it wasn't going to do well. It was too expensive. It was too bulky.
Yep.
But the idea of it is still correct. There's a reason why all these movies that portray the future have these little AR screens that pop up and they're using their hand motions and gestures the same way that we already do on our phone. We're already doing this. We're trained to fucking do this, right?
Yep.
And it's just going to just evolve from there. But not with a big-ass, bulky $3,000, $3,500 kit.
Nope.
It's going to be a $250 pair of Oakleys or Ray-Bans. You know what I mean? That's where it's going to be where the market pops off, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's the same story with a lot of this stuff. The technology still has to catch up. So we have to be patient, even though I don't like being patient. Hashtag soon. Biggest Bro says, I can't wait to lose my social life to GTA 6. Yeah, I can't wait to play GTA 6 myself. Even in GTA 5, the new role-playing, they do like role-playing GTA 5. I've never done it myself, but I've been watching videos on YouTube.
Oh, I've been watching those dudes for like a decade do that shit on Twitch, yeah. Twitch RP was massive for a long time.
Not sure it says the question.
You ever want to watch some really good Twitch GTA RP? You can go probably on YouTube and just type in Sheriff Eli, Twitch RP GTA 5. Oh, yeah. Bro, one of the greatest RP guys of all time. He had some drama, he left, but dude, he was a real life deputy, and then just slid into the RP community. The guy was fucking legendary. So good. Check him out.
That sounds cool. Yeah, the ones I watched is just like people doing force emotes, like making gangsters kiss them and stuff, and they get so mad it cracks me up. All right, not sure.
We've done it actually. I did a stream because my alter ego is Tony Longfellow, right? Because you're supposed to take your middle name and then the block you grew up on.
Right.
as like a porn star name, so I would use that as my alter ego.
That's a good porn name.
So Tony Longfellow, what's that?
That's a good porn name, Longfellow.
Oh yeah. So I jumped on a GTA RP server one night, years ago now, and I basically just dropped in as a random, blah blah blah. Got into some trouble, got chased by the cops. I was with my boy. We got caught like robbing a bank, and I wound up convincing the cops that we were late night repairmen trying to fix the vault. And then they wound up, because they give you a little out of game stuff every now and then out of RP or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they're like, "Yo, that was pretty slick. You want to be a cop with us?" And I was like, "Shit, yeah, let's go, man." So these guys brought me onto the fucking squad, and I just for one night, I only did it for one night, dude. I just went around being like fucking Tony Longfellow, the fucking RP cop. Shit was fucking awesome, bro. I grew up doing improv. But, like, nice. I love doing fucking RP stuff. Shit's great.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be even more fun when it gets to VR. Not sure it says. The question is more if companies want this because they sell good. I think with cosmetics, without being NFTs, but NFTs has more potential. I think it could boom more. Yeah, it just has to become more mainstream. Cryptony says GTA is the first successful metaverse. The modded ones are already making millions. That's what we're talking about, the RP modded ones. Yep. Just imagine they integrate crypto exactly with GTA 6. Maybe they have the new modded versions. They have the RP versions, and they do integrate crypto. Who knows? Maybe GTA 7. Digitalverse says, when I got into crypto, it was weird to talk about, all about, and no one thought it was cool or they would even laugh at you. Same thing with NFTs now, but the future will be bright, just as crypto is today. The fact that we had that big boom during the pandemic, not everybody got into crypto, not everybody got into NFTs, but everybody heard about it. And that kind of like the next time it comes around, then they're going to be like, whoa, why didn't I get into it? The same reason I got into crypto in the first place was because Bitcoin blew up. I heard about Bitcoin, but I didn't get into it. It blew up. And then the next time around, I'm like, all right, well, I missed Bitcoin. I'm not going to miss it this time. So maybe the next time crypto blows up, more people are going to feel more comfortable getting into it because they saw what happened during the pandemic. But they probably also heard lots of horror stories about people getting hacked and companies like VeVe lying. They have people that log in and only play as police dispatchers. Like, that'd be kind of boring to me. All right, and then the VeVe news, get to wrap this up pretty soon. Right now, I mean, there's always a lot of drama on VeVe. Let's see. I think, like they were talking about in the chat, that there's going to be a Fudders versus Moonboy stream. Apparently, I don't know if you heard about this, Mo. Randy Chavez decided he was going to do a Fudder versus Moonboy stream. It's going to be him, Doctor of Stuff, and Crypto Rain, and Randy is going to play the role of Fudder. So that's about as dumb as it gets because obviously he's just going to, he's going to be very biased. And it was, in fact, Big A's idea. Big A actually showed me the screenshot in our Discord where 2 weeks ago he says you should have a Fudders versus Moonboy streams. And then Randy Chavez blocks Big A on Twitter. And then the next day he comes up with his idea of having a Fudders versus Moonboy stream. And now I'm hearing people say, just from this chat, that Arcade is trying to host a Fudders versus Moonboy stream. And potentially I could be on there. I mean, I don't understand what arguments Moonboys could have at this point. Like, what could your argument be? Could it be soon? Hashtag soon? Like, what argument could Moonboys have at this point, Mo?
Oh, you want me to be a Moonboy real quick?
Try.
Guys, just imagine, okay? Just imagine a world, guys. Imagine where you could be Wolverine, okay? And Wolverine is driving a DeLorean, guys. This is gonna be so sick. You're gonna be able to rent them out, and they're gonna be worth thousands, maybe worth more than real DeLoreans, bro. This shit's gonna be so cool, bro. So cool, man. Oh shit.
You sound like me in 2021.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't trying to.
I was saying that kind of stuff back then, but it never came to fruition. I don't know. I feel like the Fudders have the big advantage because you can just point out all the things that VeVe promised and never delivered. I think the Moonboys would counter that with saying, well, they did deliver MCP eventually. They did deliver KYC eventually. But the whole fact that the VeVeverse, they promised phase 1, the VeVeverse would be Q1 of 2023. Phase 4 would be Q4 of 2023. And it is now, what quarter is it? Q2, Q3 of 2024, and we still don't have phase 1.
Nope. But even more alarming is, what was it, the person that left VeVe, right? Where they made some little cryptic comments in their tweets.
Yeah, I don't know. We haven't talked about that since, it happened since our last one, but it was Sanchez, Nestor Sanchez, who was the chief technical officer, the CTO, has resigned. Is that big news? It feels like big news.
That's massive.
Yeah.
And not even like, oh, I'm just, I've done like, okay, so if it would have been like, hey, I did what I had to do here, I'm moving on to a different project or help other people progress or, grow. That is not what I took away from what I read. Because what I read was there is absolute piss poor management that needs to be replaced. And until then, you're all fucked. That is pretty much what I got out of it. And I'm not going to sit around and wait, is pretty much what I read on that. You know what I mean?
Do you think he resigned on his own or they forced him to resign?
It was probably mutual. It was probably like, the person seemed like a bad person. It wasn't like they went out trying to like hang people out to dry. But it's just like, the way I would see it is like, hey, like, David, we need to really get on the ball. Like, we're trying to build this, we're trying to build that, but you had greener illusions of grandeur in your fucking head or something, and we just can't make it happen. And David Hughes like, well, then fuck you, I'll find somebody who can make it happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. I just feel like, again, David, you tried to paint this massive, grand scale fucking picture that probably can never be, done in a remotely decent time frame, or maybe at all. Who the hell knows?
I think it could have been done if they would have put some effort into it. Look at the golden moment drops. You had, 6 or 7 different golden moment drops that had 20,000 total editions that you're selling for $50 each. Like, that's a lot. They were brought in a lot of freaking money during the bull run, like millions and millions and millions. Like, what happened to that money? Where'd it go? They didn't reinvest it into the platform.
No, they probably had to pay licensors, and they probably had to pay this, that, and the other.
Well, I don't know that they had to pay licensors, because the licensors get the fees through the market fees. Do they have to pay something besides maybe the initial? They have to pay for the license initially, and then they get the market fees, but that's it.
No, I'm thinking that if it's a Disney drop for, let's say, $39.99, I'm thinking that Disney's getting probably like, what, 50% of that money? Just basically by buying out on the original deal? I don't know if the VeVe's not getting all that money. And then
I don't think
Disney would get a cut on top of the resale, no?
They get a cut on the resale. They get 6% because VeVe gets 2.5%, right, and the fee is 8.5%. But I don't know, how are they getting 50%?
Well, I'm just saying, because when they do the deal with, let's say, Marvel for insert, I don't know, like say Wolverine, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna pay you $50 million or whatever for the license or whatever, and then they license it, and then they sell Wolverine, and they basically have to recoup that money. Right. That's money they put out. They have to get that money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Woody makes a good point too. VeVe had to pay cash outs for all the fake gems too. That's a good point, and that's probably cost them a lot of money, because there was that gem exploit, as you know, and a lot of the people who bought gems during the gem exploit, they got paid out. And that money didn't come out of thin air. It had to come from somewhere. And Muhammad makes a good point too. Every time someone leaves the team, VeVe hires a moon boy. That's what bothers me. I hate that.
Because the sign of a weak company is someone who surrounds themselves with yes men. It's actually a sign of a weak person in general. But if you surround yourself with nothing but yes men, that is a horrible, horrible sign, because that means you cannot take criticism at all in your life. Okay.
Are you talking about VeVe or Donald Trump? Sorry.
You're right on both accounts. But yeah, you should, always try to have different people with different mindsets and different ways of looking at things around you. That's just my approach to life.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
it's easier to fire someone who disagrees with you and hire someone who agrees with you. Sure.
You don't want somebody on your team that disagrees with you. I think it's all right if they disagree with you once in a while, but if they disagree all the time, you wouldn't want them.
You can't be totally against each other on like an overall agenda. I'm saying, but you have to both be working towards the same goal. You know what I'm saying? And someone that's willing to call you out on your bullshit on little maybe mishaps along the way. Because let's face it, people call Will out. We call Ian out on a fucking daily basis, it seems like. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. And people like Ian will say, hey, don't like it, go make your own fucking game. But here's what I'm working on in the meantime to help alleviate, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
But he's like, at the end of the day, he's like, if you really feel like you can do better, go ahead. I ain't stopping you.
Right. Abdullah says, didn't those accounts that were associated and bought dirty gems get banned? No, Dr. Prophet bought a ton of them. He's not banned. He's part of the team now.
Yep. And I was told originally, like, oh, stay away or else your accounts could get banned. And I was the jackass paying full price for fucking gems. Everybody else is paying fucking 30 cents on the dollar.
I used to brag about it too. I was like, I don't got nothing to worry about because I didn't buy any dirty gems. Well, I should have bought some dirty gems. Let's just be honest.
You and me both. Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up talking about the upcoming drop on Saturday. I think it's Saturday. We got another Wolverine drop, and Wolverine with a leather jacket, I think. Have you seen this drop, and do you think it's going to sell out?
What's the mint size?
I think there's one rarity, and correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, because I don't pay that much attention to VeVe at this point anymore. But I think it's one rarity with 1,111 editions. I'm guessing 40 gems. 40 gems retail. Let me know what the retail is, y'all. 40 or 50. But I'm guessing 40. So do you think a Wolverine, not FA, sells out with 1,111 editions for 40 gems retail?
I say no.
I say
I
no
mean,
too.
I think it will sell out. I just don't think it's going to be like, oh, I got fucked and I didn't get the drop type of sellout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might sell out if they give us some type of benefit for holding all the Wolverines, because I think there's going to be 4 different Wolverine drops, and maybe if they say, oh, if you have all the Wolverines, then you're going to get this special Wolverine, which I think they did something with Hulk the same way. And if they do that, that might make it sell out eventually, but I don't think it's selling out on drop day.
No, well, the first appearance of hairy chest, I mean, that might change it. That might change my answer.
There you go. Kryptoni disagrees. He says he thinks it will sell out. So there you go. Some people think it will sell out. Some people think it will not sell out. I'll have to look into it a little bit deeper. I know people were complaining that it looked a little too cartoony. So I don't know. I'm skeptical that it'll sell out. Muhammad says, I think MC did hint that getting something. Yeah, but he also hinted that holding all of the red metallics would get something too. And what happened with that? Nothing. That kind of caused those to sell out. And then there was no follow-up to it. You don't get anything for holding all the red metallics at this point. So I'm really disliking the MC hints. I think it's like insider trading. It's false advertising.
Yeah, but be careful. That shit's recorded on the internet, dude. They start piecing enough of these together. And then fucking VeVe would be in some fucking hot water, dude.
Oh, I'm sure there's going to be some lawsuits eventually. I have no doubt about that at all. Yeah. Mohammed's right. MC also compared VeVeverse to GTA 6. He was like, GTA 6 had a delay, so I guess it's okay. The VeVeverse has a 3-year delay. But yeah, right. The dude is the spin doctor. I call him the spin doctor. All right.
I mean, basically, if you work for the company, shut your fucking mouth. Like, honestly, just work for the company and go about your fucking day, honestly.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Like, I don't even think you should be allowed to buy and sell stuff on the market.
Absolutely not.
It is what it is. Let's keep up with the chat, and then we'll end the stream. Yeah, not sure. Saw it where and a lot of the Moon Boys were into that. They're like, hey, he made a good point there. GTA 6 was delayed by 6 months. Ha ha ha. Abdullah said,
yeah, let's compare a AAA studio fucking high fidelity graphic game with an insane fucking landscape to a fucking low poly fucking bullshit non-animated fucking non-gamified fucking crap beta test. Okay,
built on the cavernous template. Yes.
Yeah, built on the cavernous template. Yeah, thank you.
I would like to know.
Let's compare those two. That's a real fucking brilliant move. I'm gonna hire that guy. Jesus
I want to know
Christ.
what the delay is on the VeVeverse. Like, it can't. Why would it take that long? It shouldn't take that long. It doesn't make any sense. Like,
you have retards fucking running. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking all retarded over there, bro. That's one thing we're learning. You know, you can't do anything against it from the top to the bottom. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing. And the smart ones are leaving. You know.
Johnny Dunn sold off a bunch of his collectibles recently. And yeah, I mean, they just lost their CTO, so it's not like you're going to have more, you're not going to have more progress towards the VeVeverse when you just lost your CTO. It's going to slow your progress. I don't see any reason why that would speed up your progress. And you know they're going to hire some Moon Boy to be the new CTO. It's probably going to be Randy Chavez, like someone mentioned in the chat. Abdullah says, in my opinion, not an instant sellout. Maybe eventually, but I'm towards not selling out too. Probably not a sellout instantly, like Abdullah says, but if they're teasing that you're going to have some type of benefit for holding all the Wolverines, that might make a sellout eventually. Big A says they also have GTA 5 still out there realizing new content.
Yeah,
they put out new content all the time. Even World of Warcraft puts out new content still. I played that like so long ago.
They just came out with a new expansion the other day or this week.
Yep.
I don't play it anymore, but it's out there.
Not sure says compared against a VeVe app and a showroom. Yes, exactly. Muhammad says, we know that even if GTA 6 came out 20 years late, it would still be amazing. VeVeverse would still look like a PS2 game. I don't know anything about the VeVeverse. Maybe it's amazing. I mean, I saw it at DesignerCon back in November of 2022, and it was impressive. It was in VR. It was through Oculus Quest, but I mean, it's
but the one that came out after that, of like that small group that had access and cut some video together, that did not look good.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? But that was on the new platform. Because the original platform, if you remember, when they were showing it off, those bunch of goofballs at the event, they the reason why they probably scrapped that original idea was if you looked at like the characters trying to walk around, they were floating up in the air.
Yep.
The network fucking latency was so bad. Like, as someone who codes games, and I'm not talking out of my fucking ass, that is one of the hardest things to do, is to program any sort of networking code.
Right.
So, unless you use something that's built in already, again, like a Cavernous or an Unreal Engine, something like that, that simplifies everything because that networking code is already done for you. So.
Shout out to Bob
Anyway.
Sells in the chat. What's up, Bob Sells? It's been next year and I'm still not rich though. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Bob Sells? Not sure says, and Jenny, that's a good point. Johnny Dunn has VeVeverse access and he sold all his NFTs, so maybe he's not impressed with the VeVeverse. Stan asks, where's Alfred Kahn? Where's Alfred Kahn? Where's Dan Crothers? I haven't heard from Dan Crothers, but we're getting all these pictures now. I don't know if you're seeing them, Mo, on Twitter of Dan Crothers partying. Like one of them, he was drinking some kind of cheap bourbon with this other guy at a party, and then the one that I saw today, he was in a pool with 2 girls, so he's living off of y'all's VeVe money.
Yeah, I was say it's all paid for you with y'all gems, not mine.
Exactly. Not sure it says VeVe is what you make out of it. It is a showroom. If it's interactive though, it's a little bit different. Shout out to Boba Fett in the chat. What's up, Boba? Thanks for hanging out with us. We're just wrapping this up. This is our Tuesday stream. Me and MoKnowz go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk paranormal activity. We talk about sports. We talk about U.S. politics, Web3 gaming. And at the end right now, we talk a little bit about VeVe and other NFT platforms, crypto, etc. Bitcoin says, looks like Temu Wolverine. Yeah, people are not loving the way Wolverine looks. I'm not an art person, so I never really comment on that kind of stuff, except for Electra. Electra was ugly as hell. Not sure.
I would say, does it turn into like another Electra though, where it's just like it's so bad that it's good? You know what I mean?
That's what they should do. They should have another Electra drop and extend her neck out twice as far, just to be funny. I would buy that. That would be funny to me.
And that's the funny thing is, I would probably sign in to buy that just because I'm like, oh, they have a good sense of humor and they're poking fun of themselves. Like,
they should be able to do that. Not sure. It says not even sure if they use the metaverse connector or make multiplayer. Maybe only via premium, but do you have to be premium VeVeverse? But they think they will not do all that, just a single player showroom. No, interactivity is a must. They got to have interactivity, and they had interactivity in the demo that we saw back at DesignerCon in 2022. Muhammad says Dan is out. Alex G is out. I know Alex G is out. Why would Dan be out? Ain't he like the CEO? They might have bought him out, but then that means we're putting everything on David Yu, and I don't know that I want to hitch my ride to David Yu's truck. Shared
hell
roads is
no.
called.
Like I hitch my foot to David Yu's ass though. Get him fucking moving.
Big A says that was Macallan Scotch in the picture. It's actually pretty expensive. I looked it up. It was $34.99 a bottle. I'll post it. Big A, I posted it on Twitter. It was $35 a bottle.
Are you looking at the fake bottles, the Macallan? This is the real stuff, the Macallan.
Oh, was I really?
No, I don't know.
I might have been. I wouldn't be surprised. All right,
Remember
y'all,
Michael
we gotta wrap
Davini,
this up.
Joey Callow?
Oh, I got you. We got to wrap this up, y'all. Like I said, me and Mo go live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're just catching the tail end of this stream, make sure to come back and check us out next week. On Saturday, I'll be live for the Wolverine drop. We'll see if it actually does sell out or not. I'm skeptical that it will. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm wrong. Kryptoni thinks it will. And Mo, what do you got going on this week?
Another week at LIVIN, PFL, spinning slots. That's about it. But good show, man. It was a good talk as always. And chat, appreciate you guys tuning in. A lot of activity in chat, man. We appreciate the good back and forth.
100%. We love having y'all in the chat, giving us ideas of things to talk about, giving us your opinions and your comments. So be sure to tune in next week and give them to us again. And like I said, Dr. Strange is going to send me over a topic to talk about next week for the paranormal topic. So we're definitely going to have some good stuff to talk about. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. And we will see you all in the next one. Later.
See you next Tuesday.